Since the dawn of time, things have happened. People have talked about those things. First with cave paintings, then with language, writing, and art. In our time, we use the internet. From the depths of nerddom come four guys who'll talk about things too. World-famous internet celebrity Justin L., the destroyer of BotCon, Bedbugs, the guy that learned how to mow grass in the prison yard, DA, and the customizing powerhouse, Mako Aspire. And Tyler F. And every so often, a man who rejects the concept of catch and release, Justin Catfish. This is Totally Knockoff.
Hey everybody, welcome to TKO the podcast. This is Justin L., internet personality. This is fucking TKO podcast number 62. I'm a little late starting, so I'm already finished like almost my whole fucking drink, and we're gonna get this train rolling. So I guess let's start off. We'll go from left to right. Dustin, how you doing this week, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good, man. It's been wet and sloppy here. Haven't really done much work. Again,
nice.
Been
That sounds
sitting
great.
around a lot. I actually finally got out and got some work done today. But yeah, I've had a pretty good week, man.
Nice.
Didn't really acquire much toy-wise, but I got a new gold chain that I'm enjoying a lot.
Bling bling.
And then I also got summoned for jury duty.
Nice. Finally on the other side of the fucking rail, huh?
This will be my second time actually ever being summoned. The first time they just had me come in and like within like the first hour or two, they cut me loose. They're like, yeah, we don't want this guy. So I'm hoping the same thing happens this time.
You just walk in there like, fight the power.
Yeah, I'm probably just going to like say some stupid shit to him to get him just to be like, all right, go home.
Yeah, I've been summoned twice myself, but I haven't actually had to go in. Like, whatever case was up, they just flooded out, so they didn't need a jury.
But you know
Well,
what? Go ahead.
They usually bring in about, I want to say like 20-some people, and then they cut it down to like 12, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. See, the thing with jury duty is jury summonses are never sent like certified mail or require a signature, so
No,
who's to say I ever fucking got it?
that too. Exactly. But I think the defense gets to pick 6, and then the the county attorney or whatever, they get to pick 6 as well.
Tom, you got it lost in one of your cocaine shipments.
So a lot of the time, a guy like me is either probably not wanted on the jury, but at the same time, maybe somebody on the defense side might want someone like me. But I mean, they ask you about your, I guarantee if they even ask me any questions before cutting me loose, they'll probably bring up my criminal record. They'll probably, ask me, if I know the defendant or anything like that. And I've been through it before. It's kind of stupid, but I don't know. It's interesting at the same time, but nobody ever wants to actually do it.
Do they ever look at you when you go in and they're like, no, get out of here?
Yeah, basically, I was cut. I was one of the first ones cut the last time I went in. I was
You
there
walk
for like
in there
2 hours and they let me go.
Walk in there smoking a joint. Hey, what's up?
Well, I'm going to be walking in there dressing as I normally do, and I'm not going to like change anything about myself. And hopefully they'll just be like, get out of here.
Just go in there with your jack boots and your full military gear. And
I don't have any of that stuff.
Your fucking Luftwaffe medals.
I don't have any of that stuff.
That's messed up.
But yeah, that's the highlight of my week.
Yay.
But it's not till December, so.
All right, so I guess moving on, Eric, how you doing and what you get this week, buddy?
I'm doing all right. Been working the mail route all week.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
Put them mail in them boxes.
Yeah, I've on the itty bitty route in Colby, Wisconsin.
Small.
And yes, it's very small, but it's the home of Colby cheese. That's where it came from. But
Nice.
Cody cheese is awesome.
Been working that job for a couple hours every morning, and then I go to my full-time job after that. And so it's been pretty busy. Things are picking up. We got our quarterly reports to get all done. So I got a bunch of payrolls I gotta get updated and shit.
Helping farmers hide their money.
Exactly.
Yeah. Keeping America running on my tax dollars.
Dude, I just did a work comp audit. So basically, when farmers have to, if they have so many employees, they have to have work comp insurance, and oftentimes the insurance companies will send them. They'll bill them what they think the insurance is going to cost. Then they pay so much up front, and then after the end of the year, then they need all the information of what they actually spent on payroll to find out what the actual risk was, and then the farmer either has to pay more to make up the difference, or has to pay, or he gets a refund. And I did an audit, and the farmer was a little bit pissed off because he must have understated how much he was paying out in payroll by like $100,000. So the insurance company wanted to charge him $24,000 more.
Jesus.
Yeah, he was a little bit pissed off, but that was the highlight of my day. Got our first snow. Didn't last very long, but
we guys got snow already?
Yeah, we had snow this morning. It was snowing the whole time I was out on the road, but it didn't accumulate or nothing. The ground was still too hot; it just all melted. But yeah, it's quite windy and cold up here. As a result of working both jobs and dealing with the weather, I did not have time to acquire any new goodies. So,
I mean, you got snow and I got tropical storm all in the same week. What the fuck's going on?
America.
Hey, Bugs, do those farmers have to be lonely?
No, they don't have to be. Some of them get picked up for soliciting prostitutes in Green Bay.
Hey, nice. On that bitch.
We had one of our clients do that.
Eric, where exactly are you again?
I am in central Wisconsin.
Oh, shit. Okay. Okay. I can relate because can y'all hear me okay on this thing? Am I too close or am I too far away?
You're good.
Okay. Yeah, because that man is. Oh shit. Yeah, the snow kind of fucked my week up too. Fucked my whole next 4 months up, and I'll get to that in a second. But that just, I mean, that's blew my mind when I heard that y'all were getting snow up there already.
Were you building
it's so polar opposite down here. Jesus Christ, 80 degrees at night. I mean, we got our first real taste of fall down here today. I didn't sweat a drop working outside, but every other day it's been brutal heat, 80 degrees in the day and night, humidity, and all of a sudden it changed. But yeah, I had a big trip up there planned that just got recently screwed up, and I'll get to that in a second. I'll let y'all finish. Yeah, long story.
All right, so I guess moving on, we got Chris. How you doing, man?
The past couple of weeks have fucking blown. So, and I haven't gotten anything. Well, that's not entirely true. We all got something.
Oh yeah, we did.
We got ourselves some nice TKO team jerseys, custom made with sublimated logos on twill, stitched on. Same with the numbers and a name on the back. We're going to be rocking them at TFCon. It's kind of gay that we're, all going to be dressed alike, but it's also cool.
Yeah, we're a fucking team, bro.
I can't wait to get my shit, dude.
I haven't even put mine on yet. I was going to put it on today, but it's so goddamn muggy because of this fucking weather.
It'll cool down.
Yeah, it will.
You just got that hurricane pushing up all that warm air towards you.
It really is pushing. It's like fucking displacing vaginal fucking heat by entering penis.
You're lucky because you're actually farther north than Bugs.
No.
No?
No.
No.
Because New Jersey,
I might have to look
Pennsylvania is about due east of Illinois.
I might have to pull up a map here.
What's a map? Is that like a Google?
Yeah, basically, I'm gonna do some Google.
You're gonna do some old school Google.
Well, while you were doing that, how was your week, JL?
Mine was pretty good, I guess. They fixed my roof last week, and they fixed my garage this week.
Who fixed
And
your roof?
Some roofers.
And it'll be broken by the end of the week.
Yeah. So nature's gonna throw about 18 storms at me this month until my roof is destroyed again.
Oh yeah.
And I got a new headset. If you guys can't understand me, that's why. I have a feeling it probably sounds a lot like my old one because I just got the upgraded model of the old one, except for it's not dying like the other one was. Hasn't cut out yet.
Yeah, when you came in, it didn't go.
Really? Y'all could actually hear it when I did that.
Yep.
And it made that noise to me too. And what did I get? I got shit. I always can't remember by the time we get this going.
It helps to write things down.
I should, man. I get so much shit. So I got the headset, the Logitech G933. It's pretty badass.
Words.
Yeah. I got that Optimus Prime model kit that I haven't built yet. He's pretty cool. And I got something else that I'm saving for my deal of the week, so I'm not gonna say it now.
All right.
And I got the new Hallmark Bumblebee ornament for my Christmas tree. We probably won't put up.
Right?
What Bumblebee? Is it Bumblebee the movie?
No, it's a G1 Bumblebee, and you'll be able to. Yeah, you'll be able to find it at Walmart and stuff later on, but Amazon had it for $8 shit.
Well, that's the thing. Like Hallmark, they have like 2 different ornament collections.
Yeah, this is a cheap one.
Like they have the really nice one that looks like pretty much like a small scale G1 toy, and you can buy that at the Hallmark store. And they only do one a year. This last one was Starscream. I have that one, and then they have some crappier ones that they'll make look more like the animation that are available at Walmart and Target.
Okay,
Did I forget to mention last week that I got the MS Toys mini bots?
No, you said it.
Okay, cool. Well, they're still great, and they're right in front of me. You should buy them, all of you.
I did.
Oh, and I did actually get a movie toy. I picked up one of the Volkswagen Bumblebees from the new movie, the little tiny legend scale, though.
Didn't you get that last week?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
I don't know,
we
man.
talked about that last week.
Time's a blur. I did get mini bots. So I didn't have those last
We
week.
got the mini bots last week too.
Jesus Christ. I got a fucking handle of vodka this week.
Yeah.
Nice. There you go. I don't think you had that last week.
No, I didn't.
I don't know if you're actually handling that bucket.
No. I think
All right.
it's fogging your memory, bro.
Yeah, it is. It's fine. I got stuff I don't want to remember. Anyways, moving on. We have a very special guest tonight. He's known for making probably some of the biggest customs ever. We've got Kingbotz. How you doing, bud?
Yeah.
Oh, pretty good considering.
Yeah, man.
Good. Yeah, it's been a rough week, but I mean, things are looking up.
Yeah.
But the night is young, but things are looking up, and it's almost Friday. Thank God it's not Monday. So
Yeah.
Fuck Monday. Yeah, I was off today.
I've got nothing but bad news this week. But yeah, I'm
Those
just
weeks suck.
rolling with the punches. Yeah, for some, it must be the alignment of the stars or something, man. When it rains, it pours. I'm just getting slammed left and right, just up against the ropes this week with bad news. One piece in particular, it had to do with the weather, man. That really had me bummed out. But you know, I'm hanging in there. I'll get into that in a second. It's a kind of a long story how that developed, and it has something to do
Well,
with
we're at the part where you talk about stuff. So let's right now.
Somebody quick fucking check the goddamn star charts. What fucking thing is in retrograde fucking us all up?
Yeah.
Mercury fucking retrograde.
I think Pluto's decided it's a planet again.
But go ahead with your story now, man.
well, where do I start? It all started when I was 3, I guess. And fast forward to, what do y'all want to hear first?
Well, just
anything?
Well, you've alluded a couple times to something that fucked up your week this week.
Oh yeah, it's got me pretty bummed out. So imagine what I could compare it to right now, and the easiest thing I can compare it to is like when you have like this incredible dream, whether you're revisiting a dead loved one, or you're having sex with this amazing girl, or you're just happy about something. You found a clump of money, Well, and then you wake up and you realize that it just slipped through your fingers. It was never there to begin with. But I mean, I'm still kind of hanging on to this venture. But that's how I kind of felt like when I got the news this week. And I'll try to wrap it up in a nutshell. What happened and the developments that led up to this to the big letdown this week. But it's just kind of a put on pause for now. It's a project, and it's kind of hard to describe how this happened. And I couldn't sleep for 3 days after this idea popped in my head. But as y'all know, I don't know if I'm friends with everybody here on Facebook, but I do customs as a hobby, part-time job, and also do paintless dent repair on cars.
I didn't know that.
I started doing that, taught myself. I'm all self-taught. Started doing that. I left FedEx back in 2013 in pursuit of this new venture and taught myself, bought all my tools and everything, and a lot of trial and error. So here I am 4 years later, and I've pretty much, for the most part, mastered the trade. And I'm on my own doing a mix of retail and wholesale, customers' cars, and doing customs, of course, in between when I can find the time and energy. So I'm totally self-employed now. So that's the beauty of it. I have a very flexible schedule. It gives me a lot of time to knock out stuff.
Right.
To do customs like I couldn't do before. Even when I was working part-time with FedEx, I was limited to the time and energy that I had when I came home. I'd work 5 hours, feel like I worked 10 goddamn hours when I got home. I was so tired. And finally one day I woke up, I said, fuck this. If I'm going to feel like this when I get home at the end of the day, I want it to be 100% for me, not making somebody else rich. And that was kind of the turning point for me. And strange turn of events, I went out to my truck one day after getting back off the road, and one of my coworkers had opened up her door in my truck and left a ding in my bed. And she knew she did it, but didn't say anything like most people do. They look around, see if everybody saw them, and they walk off. You know, who wants to fork over $150 to $200 to have a ding for somebody else? You know, so she admitted to it when I confronted him. After that, I started looking into paintless dent repair, and it fascinated me. And that was my ticket out. So I devised an exit plan, quit FedEx for the third time, and then pursued the PDR thing. And then I didn't even work a part-time for FedEx. I didn't have much time and energy to do customs. I mean, I just barely cranked out a couple of big ones, maybe once a year. Well, fast forward to 2015, I'm doing PDR, and one of my first clients, new clients, he commissioned the first wheelie, Revenge of the Fallen wheelie custom. That took me, he was bringing that to a convention. It took me about 5 months to crank out, and so he liked that one so much. I think he was actually the first to buy a wheelie, and Ryan from Canada of Transformers Cars was the first to buy a commission of movie scale Frenzy in 2014. Now, meanwhile, after I did that one, this my friend George in North Dakota, he wanted one because he had a barricade replica. And it was, of course, he wanted a Frenzy to ride in the passenger seat and show at conventions and car shows and charities and whatnot. And so he wanted a Frenzy. And unfortunately, the Frenzy nearly drove me into retirement as far as customizing goes. Totally burned me out. I had a deadline with that first one. Did it in 5 months. And that was the most in-demand custom that I've ever done, unfortunately. It was totally scratch-built, and it drove me insane.
I bet.
It was I was limited to the reference picks that I had. I had to improvise in a lot of places, and it was my first movie style. I was accustomed to building, blocky G1 type stuff up until that point, and then this thing comes along and just is like, here I am. It's pretty much a sum. It's a challenge. It's a sum of all the skills that I've accumulated all my life went into this thing, and I made it happen. And it was new territory to me, and it was like, wow. But it really expanded my mind, because after I was done with that, I was like, I can do anything after this. It was just that complex. It was a nightmare. It was a nightmare. It was not fun. That was one of those projects that it was painful. I was glad it was done. I never wanted to do another one again. And of course, that was the most in-demand piece that people wanted. I couldn't believe how many people had barricade replica cars that wanted a Frenzy. And
how many people
Yeah,
did?
it's pretty
You have a
popular.
count?
At least 6 or 7 other people that had barricade replicas wanted these. They had a couple other guys like Transformers cars that had replicas. They wanted that, that finishing touch to the barricade to have Frenzy sit in the passenger seat. And
Yeah, when they
it
go
was
to car shows and shit.
yeah, it was great because I got all my measurements from Ryan and it actually I made it plenty articulate enough. And it fit perfectly and had a lot of sharp edges and points. This thing will fuck you up. I said, you need to put something on the seat because it will cut the seat. It will cut you when you're trying to pose it. There's a lot of sheet metal.
Yeah, that character, all you need to do is just get a whole bunch of scissors and glue them together. And
that's what it looked like.
Oh, God.
Pretty much what it looked like. And surprisingly enough, I didn't cut myself that many times in the process, but it had a lot of pinch points, a lot of razor sharp edges, points, aluminum flat bar, angle, channel, you name it, a lot of styrene. And he got his leather cover and everything, and it fit perfect in the seat. His was done really well because what was cool about it is he had the Lambo doors done to his, so you could open it all the way up. You could see the entire figure from the side when you open up the door. It was very cool. I think he had it at last year's first what was the first HasCon since they changed from BotCon. He had it there. And I think Stan Bush even got in there and got a shot with it.
Nice.
So
he got to touch it?
Yeah. Actually, I got him to touch my my Bruticus at the 2007 BotCon. I got his autograph on that. Cool guy, by the way, and very cool. Off topic, but I saw the original Transformers screening the other night at the local theater. That was pretty cool extras that they had after the credits.
Yeah, I'm glad I stayed for that.
I did not expect that. It was cool. It was just all around. Made me feel like a kid again. Got the poster and the teaser for Bumblebee. The after credits. It was great. It went by so fast. Robbie Musso was there. Some of my other local nerd friends were there. It was great. It was just why did it have to end? They got to do that again one day. I don't know why it took them so long to do it. I don't know. Maybe they're just creating hype for the movie. I don't know, but I was there. I was excited. It was a beautiful thing. It was magical. I didn't get to see it as a kid, so this was particularly nostalgic for me and a fond experience because that was something that was my parents knew better than to let me see the movie as a kid because they knew I was already begging for all the toys as it was, and they knew it was better than to let me. I would have begged them and begged them and begged them. I had to beg the shit out of my dad for Optimus Prime. At least I got that one, but I wanted them all. I wanted Voltron, I wanted Devastator, Omega Supreme, everything I could get my hands on. Constructicon here and there, trading at school. Mini-bots, had plenty of mini-bots. And then it just the final blow was my friends coming home from the theater and telling me all about the movie and this big Unicron thing that popped up in the movie, and I was like, oh my god, that was just, it's. So going back to before I got off on all the kind of other rabbit trails. So the frenzy thing, everybody wanted one. I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me. And I never wanted to touch it again. I was ready to do some easy. Everything after that was easy. And I said, okay, what's next? And then
you wanted some gravy work.
Yeah, everything was easy after. I was like, geez, this is like, this is like the pinnacle to me. It was like the pinnacle of. It was a total scratch build. I mean, it doesn't get any tougher than that. And the guy wanted wanted to light up eyes, articulate, remote control turning head, and I had to figure out a way to make that happen, and made that happen. And George saw that he had a barricade replica, and he wanted one. He was another one. Now these guys, they have a very similar lineup in their garage. Ryan in Canada has a replica Beaterbee and the barricade, and George in North Dakota has a replica barricade, but one of the actual Beaterbee movie props that they use in the 2007 movie. And from what I understand, he got that in an online auction. Got lucky with an auction after, and so he's got actually got one of the '76 Camaro Beaterbees that they used in the movies. So he wanted a frenzy, and he and another friend of mine on Facebook who was actually happened to be an extra in the Revenge of the Fallen movie. and he tried to get in. I think it was Age of Extinction or Dark of the Moon, but he didn't get that role. But we keep in touch. He also wanted a Frenzy because he was a big fan of the character, and finally, things were slow. Work was slow. About a year and a half ago, at the end of 2016, I was like, you know what? I got nothing else going on. Email both guys. Do y'all still want these things or what? If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do 2 of them at once. I was going to do 3 at once, and one of the other guys backed out. Thank God. And I said, look, I dug around. I actually found the templates to this Frenzy. I thought I threw them away. I said, I got them. Do y'all want to do this? I can do it. There's no deadline. Okay, let's do it. Made my price, and they said, okay, let's do it. And they both put a deposit down, so I did that. And so that's how I got to know George. He was the first to. What's funny about he and the relation going back to he and Ryan, they have very similar collections in the garage. Ryan was the first to commission a Frenzy, who also had a Beater B and a Barricade. George also had a Beater B and a Barricade. He was the first to commission a Wheelie. Well, when he saw the Ryan's Frenzy, he wanted a Frenzy. And whenever Ryan saw George's Wheelie, he wanted a Wheelie. So so now Ryan's got a Frenzy, and George has got a Wheelie, and then I finally told George, okay, you wanted this? So now George has got a Wheelie also. So I finished the 2. It took me about a year and a half, something like that. So I did 3 Frenzies. And that nearly drove me into retirement again. I was miserable. And then all of a sudden another deadline crept up before I knew it. And so now George has also got he's got a Wheelie and a Frenzy, and Ryan's got a Wheelie and a Frenzy. And they both have the same cars. So that's how I met George. And go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, man, what in the world does one of those Frenzies cost? Because that looks like days and days and days and weeks of work.
Oh, this was months. In the building 2 at once, I actually had to change some things, a lot of redundant ways that I did things on the first one that really didn't matter at the end of the day. So I cut some corners without sacrificing aesthetics.
Nice.
So that's what I did, and it did save time. I did things a different, more creative, easier way the second time, and so I did. It was kind of it actually took longer because I was doing 2 at once, and I had other things going on at the time. Work was picking up with the PDR thing, and so I was just kind of squeezing them in when I had the time and motivation, and seeing those things in the living room every single day. I get burnt out, and it's hard to stay motivated on those long-term projects. It really is. That's the only thing about the big ones.
Mm.
So
I can imagine, man.
This went on. We want it done.
Yeah, and deadlines are good though. They can give you a structured schedule. They can keep you motivated. They got the clock coming down on you. So in a way, it's good constructive motivation because you got a time frame. Now you have a sense of urgency. So it's good in a way to have that structure and that pressure. It's to some degree, but not to the point to where it makes you panic and you start screwing up and making boneheaded mistakes, which I did on all 3 towards the end. So, it was bad. It was horrible. I mean, no sleep, and then because I was not getting any sleep, the anxiety is building up, and I'm starting to, my mind's starting to play tricks on me, and then it just goes back and forth. I'm doing things that I couldn't believe that I was doing from lack of sleep, and then panic, and then now I'm just not only having to finish the projects on time, now I'm fixing screw ups. So it's never good when you don't have a clear head when you're working on stuff like that under pressure. And it is good to some degree though, because it does make you better and work well under pressure. And if you can learn to thrive on that, then man, you got everything going for you. Then it's all downhill from there. Well, so I took a break. I took a long hiatus last year when I finally got those things shipped out to my friend Jack and George. So I finished those 2 and got them shipped out on time and shipped them both out. And this was around August, I believe. And I took months off. I didn't do shit. I didn't want to do anything. I did a lot of drinking and karaoke over the winter months. Took it easy.
That's what I do.
So
around the karaoke.
You got to do that to hit the reset button and get. I love karaoke, man. That's my cheesy pleasure. I wish I had. My only regret is I wish I had been doing it a lot longer, a long time ago. I just got into it like 2014, and I'm hooked on it now. It's like that's really the only reason I go out to drink anymore is to do karaoke.
Should be fun.
Yeah. Got a lot of good friends and support crowd. support everywhere I go. I know people. It's great. Now I got this list of the stack of songs up into the hundreds now. I used to cycle songs in weeks, and now it's months and years since I've done certain songs. So it's good to keep it fresh. And you don't want people thinking, every time you walk up, oh God, he's gonna do that song again, that same old song he always does. So I did that in the beginning with a few favorites. I had like my top 10, then my top 20, then my 30 and 50, and now I don't like them in 100. So it's like, man. So I now just.
Hey Shannon,
we gotta get this moving on the road, man.
So, get to the part when you're how your customers led to the disappointment here in.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a lot of things led up to this, and that's the backstory on what led up to the big letdown, and how I know my friend George, and has happened. It kind of caught us all off guard, but so I've got I've spent a lot of money, a lot of time and money, and training and investment in the PDR tools and such, and I'm very confident in what I do at this point. And so I'm a big part of the Transformers community on Facebook, online, but I'm also just as much a part of the community on the other end of the spectrum in the paintless dent repair world, and dent guys out there, hail chasers and such. And so you got to keep up with the times and the latest tools and stuff like that. So these are my two part-time jobs and passions. My art is really my passion. That's more of a passion than the two. But I do love them both, because PDR is, I call it abstract art in reverse. You're taking abstract art and pretty much turning it back to a clean canvas, is basically what you're doing with dent repair. And so my friend George, he'll post pictures of his beater bee on Facebook from time to time. He does local car shows and stuff like that. So now he's got his wheelie to display with the beater bee, the frenzy with the barricade, and he buys movie props. He buys actual movie props. He had what was the guy's name? The Candyman that did Revenge of the Fallen. He sent me an autographed poster. He took pictures with the beater bee. He's got a Matrix. Well, for some reason, he had beater bee about 2 months ago. George had the beater bee outside of the garage of a business one day, and a flash hailstorm hit.
Oh shit!
Yeah, so you can get an idea of how this the rest of the story will make your stomach turn. Well, I don't know if you ever heard hail, even pea-sized hail hit your car, but it's the most god-awful sound you ever want to hear. And I didn't find this out until a couple weeks down the line, but he posted pics of so Bumblebee got caught in a hailstorm outside of a business, and he said they had like 3 or 4 in the past couple of months. Well, he didn't even have time to get B in the garage. It hit so hard and fast. He had everything from dime size to golf ball to baseball size hail just pummeled the living shit out of the whole car. And so you can imagine how that sounds. You're talking about thicker gauge metal from 1976, and what kind of force it takes to bend the metal on a car like that. So I saw pictures of it, and I wanted to throw up. So every panel on the car got pounded. You get the hoods got baseball size, golf ball size, dents, not dings, dents all over it. The scoop on it even got dented. The fenders, the roof, the quarter panels, the doors, the rear quarters. The trunk, everything got pounded, shattered the windshield. That's how hard it hit. Wow. I mean, I can just imagine how he felt, hearing it and seeing the damage after. When I saw it, I was just, my jaw dropped. I was like, holy fucking hell.
Where does this guy live in relation to you?
The other side of the world.
Oh shit.
Basically, so that, when I heard y'all talking about the snow, about 2 months ago, well, I, in a nutshell, I kind of ended up volunteering myself to do the repair job on it.
Oh crap!
And the way that happened was I saw the pictures, and I was just, holy shit! I was like, George was he was saying, he's done so much for his local community, and he couldn't get anybody to help him. He had the money to do the repairs. 2-month wait to put this thing in a body shop to get it repaired. He couldn't find a local PDR guy up there that had the balls to work on it. He said the metal's too thick. And then he took it to somebody else, said they didn't want to touch it because of liability. I said, are you fucking serious? It's fucking Bumblebee. Nobody wants to work on that thing, and said he worked on that. So nobody wants to touch it. And he was like left in the wind, and you know, nobody wants to work on the car, or because they're scared of it, or they just, it's too risky, you know, or they just can't do it, and they don't think it can be done, but it can be done. Those older cars, you can push metal on them and fix dents, but so I said, man, I know this guy, and I don't, you know, I'm kicking myself for saying this at first, but I said, I know this guy in the PDR community. He's legendary for doing his PDR work. He works on classic cars. He does sheet metal work. He actually makes art in metal using PDR tools and methods. He does embossed art in metal using the PDR techniques, and this guy is legendary. A lot of people hate him. He's so good, and that was the first guy that came to mind. It's like, man, that's the only guy that I can think of that that's a hail chaser and can get up there and has worked on those older cars. So I talked to that guy, got in touch with him, and I said, man, this other guy with the B car, you know, would you mind, would you be interested in tackling it? He said, sure, man, yeah. Just, okay, can I give him your number? And I talked to George, can I give him yours? So they were supposed to talk one day on a Sunday, and neither one called the other, and here we are 3 weeks later, and this was about 2 months ago all this transpired. I find out neither one of them called the other. Nobody made contact, and I'm like, are you shitting me? And you know, George kind of posted something online, and it indicated me that they never talked. And I said, man, what happened? That guy never called you? He said, no, he never did. I was totally let down. I vouched for this guy, and we got off. You know, I was thinking. Well, actually, we talked. We communicated. We emailed there, and then we messaged on Facebook, and then. I got to thinking that night, and I was so wound up after this idea popped in my head. I said, why don't I just carry my ass up there and fix the damn car myself? I said, so now at this point I feel obligated. Like I kind of feel like I let George down, vouching for this other guy. I was like, you know what? I'm probably fully capable of fixing this thing myself. So I thought about it, couldn't sleep all night, tossed and turned till the sun came up, literally. And sent him another message. Said, man, I'm gonna call you tomorrow. And how do you feel about me coming up there? So we talked about 2 hours and went down the list. You know, figured out logistics, plausibility. Is this possible? Can we do this? This is what I need to know. You know, this about the car, that about anything you can tell me. Reference pics.
Hey man, okay. give us the abbreviated version. We got to get going.
All right. So
you're like me. You're like like the kibitz, like I do.
Oh man, I could go on and on and on. I'm a talkaholic, man. I'm a chatterbox, but I hate to leave anything out. That's my problem. It's like, okay, so we agreed. He said, so yeah, man. Well, okay. So I said, all right. Well, let me do research on the car, learn the design, the ins and outs of this car. I want to see, you know, I want to know what's the word that I'm looking for? I gotta know this car inside and out. Make sure I'm not biting off more than I can chew. I don't want to get up there and realize I made a big mistake. So, you know, I studied the anatomy of that car for 2 months, everything I could find out, made calls, and then finally, you know, I was not confident at first, but now I'm totally confident I can fix this thing. I'm gonna have to take the car half apart to do it, but. So we agreed that I would make a trip up there. I would drive up there myself with the tools, and 2-day drive and work on Bumblebee. Could take up to a week or 2 weeks. Well, this trip was supposed to happen. Excuse me. This trip was supposed to happen this month. And from my experience, I spent a little time in Wisconsin, Madison, Wisconsin, after Katrina. I worked up there for 3 months following the storm temporarily, and it started getting unbearably cold to me towards the end of November. So I knew what I was dealing with.
Are there any attractive women in Wisconsin?
Oh yeah. There was this one big booty white girl that I met at the hotel. Like, oh my God, I wanted to come home with me. Jesus. Yeah, they're well fed up there. Yeah.
Hey, where's JC to counter this?
Yeah, she was a hottie, man. You got to know where to look, but she was, I wanted to bring her back home to Louisiana with me. I actually had the opportunity to stay up there and work permanently, but my family was down here, and I simply can't take the cold. That's just not me.
So what happened with you getting over there?
Okay, so basically what happened, Mother Nature, the fucking, oh my God, I don't want to. I'm trying to
You
bite my lip here, but
can
hold my
cuss all
tongue.
you want. This is an uncensored show.
Oh, geez. Well, I had this trip planned, and I was getting everything squared away down here. And as far as George and I knew, I knew I had a short window of time to get up there. I'm not accustomed to driving in winter in cold weather. We very rarely get snow and ice down here. So I said, okay, I got a short window. I'm getting everything squared away. Got all my tools now. I got to get up there before November because I knew if Wisconsin's getting cold in November, then North Dakota's probably getting cold late October, early November. So I was using that as a guide. And George actually tried to send me, for some reason, an email with his phone instead of a text or a straight message through Facebook saying and I didn't open up till later because I thought it was spam. And he's messaged him I said, hey man, what's it looking like? I'm going to try to get up there in about a week. And he said, man, I sent you a text about 2 weeks ago. And I thought it was spam. Didn't open the text attachment. It said, it's already starting to freeze and snow up here. And when he told me that, my heart just dropped. I was shocked. I was disappointed. I knew that, just instantly I was bummed. I felt like I dropped the ball. I waited too long. But at the same time, I wanted to be fully prepared. I wanted to go up there fully prepared, have all the tools that I needed for the job. It was just.
Well, he ain't gonna do shit with it in the winter now that all that snow and ice is up there. So.
And he had already expressed that. Look, he said, I just want to get it fixed before next spring. I said, okay, but I didn't want him to wait any longer. I didn't want him to think I was dragging my feet. I felt obligated. I was ready. I finally reached the point where I was ready, and I knew I had about 2 or 3 weeks to do what I had to do to get up there. And he actually sent me pictures. Snow is already covering the ground up there. They got ice, 34 degrees in the daytime right now.
Yeah, fuck all that.
I was just in shock. And he said that he just barely was able to prepare his backyard pool to get it ready for wintertime. It hit so fast, so early, a month early. And it just took us both by surprise and kind of screwed everything up. So that pretty much screwed my whole week up because I've been preparing this for almost 3 months now, and to just have that, just have to switch mindsets like that, and then get geared up for something like that, and then the big letdown.
So you're gonna have to go wait until springtime or what?
Springtime. So we talked again and worked it out. I said, hey man, what do you think? Is this a fluke or is it going to clear up? You think it's going to be another fluke and it's going to clear up for about a week? I said, if so, all I'm worried about is making it up there without hydroplaning or anything and hitting black ice. I just want to make it up there. I can work in the cold in the garage you got, but I'm just worried about driving in this condition and all the states on the way up there are going to be cold too. I said, you think it might warm up for another week or two? And he said, no, it's, if history is any guide, it's going to be consistently colder. It's going to get consistently colder from this point on, and with no let up. And so we concluded and decided that it might be rushed, and it might be bad timing right now, and it's better to just wait until spring. So that's what we decided. I said, well, just in case, just let me know if you get like a week and it jumps up to 60 or 70 again, and I can hurry up and get up there. I'm not cared about making it back. I just want to make it up there in one piece.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah, no, the entire Midwest is nothing but snowy trash.
And get it done, yeah. Because I remember hearing all the horror stories from what do they call the Wisconsinians, or what? What do they call
them? The bag milkers.
We are Wisconsinites.
Wisconsinite. So I was hearing all the horror stories about what happens when wintertime comes around up there, and how people start hydroplaning and slamming into each other going up and down the hills, and your brakes fail, and you pretty much just got to grab onto the wheel and just wait for it to stop. And so I'm not used to driving that kind of weather and hitting black ice and stuff like that. So
Yeah, we don't have none of that shit down here.
the beauty of this thing, see, we never get that down here, and I'm not prepared for it. I don't know what to expect. I don't want to get in a wreck or something and not hit some black ice. And it was just a bad idea. I had a bad gut feeling about it. I was like, you know what, I really want to take the chance and just go ahead and go up there. But he sent me pictures of what it was looking like up there already, and I said I better not. I can wait. You know, if he's still on board and wants to do this in spring, full steam, okay, let's just do it. I'd rather wait where everything is lined up.
That's what I would do.
Right, and I can take my time and it's not rushed. And I hate working in cold weather. I do not like working in cold weather. All the jobs I've ever had, I worked in the elements, hot and cold. So you can kind of get an idea of what what this meant to me. It was like a once in a lifetime deal where, you know, it almost kind of felt like my whole life had come down to this moment, because I was a Transformers fan when I was a kid. Play with the toys. I'm still into them now, just as heavy as I ever was. And I got into.
Hey, now you're all right. Now you gotta cut it because you're starting to move into the stuff we're gonna ask you about later.
Yeah.
And let's just move into the news.
Yeah. Let's move into the news because you're starting to get into the stuff we're actually gonna ask you about later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we have an interview section.
Yeah.
All right, good deal.
Which we might be able to skip.
Yeah, man. I don't know why I couldn't get on. I couldn't get that the invitation to come up. The screen, I just kept getting it. It just froze every time. But it finally, opened up through the email. Oh man,
It was fun, man.
It's
Chris
all
and
right.
Dustin gave us a bunch of shit to try and find and cut out during that show.
Yep.
So let's move on. Did you
Yes.
get the notes opened up on your computer where you can see?
what's that?
Do you have the notes opened up on your computer? You can see what we're looking at.
I do. Okay, so first thing is the Mastermind Creations thing, right?
Yeah, you got it.
Fuck, man, he might as well host.
Yeah. So this week we got Mastermind's Creations R42C D-Zef Continuum, named after a friend of ours. And this looks like their G1 version of the mold.
That is it.
And this is not the one I'm gonna buy, but I'm gonna buy the other one, the IDW version. But either way, I'm sure it will be well made and look really great.
At least they're doing a G1 version.
At least they're doing a G1 version and not selling you a fucking add-on kit later or something.
Right. Well,
That's
and,
what they love to do.
and they're announcing it
Not them,
early
not
to give
them,
you
other people.
announcing it early enough that you can pick which one you want instead of buying the one and
They're
then
gonna
finding out that the version you wanted comes out later.
They're giving you the pre-mold and the remold at the same time.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm gonna buy the fuck out of the other version of this, the IDW version.
I don't know. Well,
Well, I don't want this one. I don't even know who this fucker is, really.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not gonna buy it.
Yeah.
I don't know the character. I mean, I understand who he is, but I don't know
Yeah.
him. I don't care
I
about
You
him.
know, do you read the comics or no?
Yeah, but he wasn't a big enough figure in the comics to warrant a fucking figure.
No, he is for me though, man. When he showed up, it was like I was like, that's fucking badass. I gotta have a copy of that on my shelf. So
I'll pass.
Neat.
Yeah, I mean, it looks cool, but I'll pass.
yeah, I wish he could like pop eggs out or something because that looks like a creature that should pop eggs out. You see it?
Yeah.
See the transformed version? Looks like a chicken.
Yeah, it's an evil demon chicken.
It's Cluckosaurus.
Goddamn Godzilla monster is what it is.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. He is awesome though, and it does look great, and I'm gonna buy it. Although not this one, I'm gonna buy the one we probably already talked about. So who's in on this?
No.
What about you, Kingbotz? You're gonna buy it and turn it into like some 3-foot tall thing?
No, you know, as much as I like the aesthetics of the character, I don't, because I think it was more or less a Japanese character, you know, in a Japanese toy line. I didn't know much about it until I actually started getting back into the Transformers years ago, and you know, got familiar with the original toy, and then the third party started. So I didn't know anything about this guy either, but you
Yeah, I
know,
don't
I understood
either.
the breast force and all that, and it came to those foreign lines, the Japanese didn't get into it too much, but I can appreciate it. I mean, it's unique because we didn't get it over here.
I appreciate anything called breast force. So I guess that's a no.
It's like they named it wherever. What it seemed like they got to the point where wherever they could stick a weapon or a piece, that's where what they named it. You know, it was like you had the target masters and you had the breast force, the headmasters. They didn't have the tail masters though, as far as I know.
I just wish it would have had enough momentum to get to the ass masters.
Yeah.
That would have been an awesome line.
Yeah, it would. All right, so I guess I'm the only one buying this.
Yep.
How much?
All right. Huh? Yeah, he's gonna be like $200. I guarantee it.
Yep.
He's gonna be because he's almost as big as their Overlord is. He might be bigger. I can't remember. I think it's like just a little bit smaller.
Fucking big as my fucking Peter, yeet.
Yeah, right. Your Peter's about as big as that fucking little lion head thing down there.
Ooh.
Most likely.
Yeah, I know. At least
Most
it's a little
likely,
lion
sir.
head. So speaking of DA Peener size things, we have MechFansToys Mechanic Studio MS-13 Detective. This is an unknown hound they're making. I don't know who they stole yet.
It's an original
The
design.
Legend scale.
Is it?
Is this going to be a Legends?
Yes.
Well, if it's a Legends, it looks awesome.
No, it looks great. I can't wait to get this from MS Toys or DX9. Because this is going to be the wrong size for my collection.
Yeah. See, I'm still on the fence.
These Legends be fooling me these days, man. I look at them like, is this some type of like, third party fucking, MP scale shit? And I look at it, I'm like, wait a second, man. This is a Legends figure. But it's so like legit.
Need to get one of these painted black and put a itty bitty Hawkeye logo
They're
on
not
it.
made of
Oh, we should.
All right, I'm back. My internet blanked out because, we're getting tropical storms
And then I'll
shit.
fucking football punt it.
Justin, are you the one that's within storm range? Where exactly are you?
I'm in North Carolina, and the wind's been beating my house. It's not really that bad, but it don't take much to knock our damn shit out down here.
Oh, North Carolina.
He just got new shingles put on the roof, dude. They all gonna be
Yeah.
going off.
Jeez.
Get another insurance check. Clear another $1,500.
Yeah, you gotta like make sure Jim Bob don't stop pedaling that fucking generator. He keeps all the internet running down here.
That's
Jim
another.
Bob. My favorite's John Boy myself.
You want to know how redneck we are, man? On my way home from eating Mexican food, there was one of those like above ground fucking internet cable boxes, and there's a damn fucking abandoned transmission housing next to it. And I drove by with Loretta, and I said, Loretta, stop! I gotta take a picture of it. She said, why you want to take a picture of it? And I said, because I wanted to make a picture for the internet. And I said, I'm trying to hack the internet, but they're jamming my transmission. Because there's a fucking transmission housing.
And next, who's buying it?
I'm not buying.
Back
I'm gonna buy.
Nope.
I'm gonna buy the MS Toys version of this when they make it out. I'm not buying any. I'm not buying any Legends in this scale, like at all.
Mhm.
So.
That looks good.
No, it looks great. Like I said,
Oh, yeah.
I have a feeling it's probably from somebody else. I don't trust him no more. My trust has been completely destroyed. So, speaking of completely destroyed, moving on, we have X-Transbots Toys MX Series Herald.
What the
Or
fuck is this
their-
thing?
This is a Masterpiece Crosscut, who I don't think actually existed in G1.
He was just a Diaclone, I believe.
Yeah, but he is in the comics, so somewhere.
Looks like Skidsmus Prime.
I
Is
do
there,
love that.
alt mode pictures or what?
No, but just imagine skids, but gray.
Yeah.
There you go. I do love that little Honda City Turbo, like fucking alt mode. They're pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I believe the skids is coming with the little scooter that goes in the back of there that I wish I had. Could you imagine, man, the power you would wield if you had the ability to get a DUI and still drive home? Oh yeah, yeah. You just open the
Yeah, they
trunk,
used
pop
to
that
do
scooter
that.
down,
They
and
used
ride
to
off.
pull you over and then just like give you a ride home or follow you home.
Yeah. Well, now they follow
They'd
you to
say,
jail.
You gotta park it and walk home.
You're going to jail. You're a criminal.
Some of them probably give you a quarter to call a payphone to call a friend.
Yeah. But not anymore. Now you just go to jail and you get raped.
Yeah, no, dude. For anything,
Don't drink
you
and
look
drive.
at a cop wrong, like you go to jail.
Don't drink and drive.
No, don't.
And don't buy Crosscut. because nobody needs an MP crosscut
Nope.
because they don't exist.
That'll be a bargain bin later.
Yeah, well, I can't wait. I'll buy it for $35, but I'm not buying it for no $80.
Your go-to Jew price of 35. I love it.
I already told you that's impulse buy territory. Like a single dollar over that, I think about it. I'll buy almost any bullshit for 35 bucks.
It. Like if,
Yeah.
Didn't they do an alternator skids? What was
Good
the
price.
alt mode? I can't remember what the alt mode
It
was.
was
Cyan XB.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, it was a blocky.
Yeah.
Yep.
As we like to call it, the poor people's Subaru Impreza. So nobody's
Fucking
buying
Tours.
this?
No.
Nope.
JC,
I'd never heard of the character until I saw this prototype.
JC.
JC's not buying it either.
No.
So moving on, let's
Moving
move
on.
on to something that people should actually buy.
Yeah.
The MS Toys Stunticons that were revealed at some kind of Chinese toy show. And they look amazing. And based on the couple I have, I'm very impressed. So I'm probably going to buy these.
Oh yeah.
The spoiler is going to be that they don't actually fucking combine.
Ah,
We'll find that out at TFCon when they're released.
Well,
You know what? If a company came out with like a legend scale, figures like this that didn't combine and
I would
just
still
look
buy it.
legit in bot mode,
I'll still buy
That
them.
be like the perfect thing to like display under like your MP scaled.
So these
You
are
know,
these are
combiner.
legends.
Yeah, these are legends. These guys are knocking
Oh, yeah.
sculpts out of the
Dude,
park.
everything's legends now. Everything.
Yeah, I'm a legend.
Because like at first I thought that was like a KOMP red alert on the right there.
No, that's coming out soon too. I'm gonna buy that bitch too.
yeah, the shit looks good.
Yeah, and
Uh,
it is good. The stuff I got so far.
I mean, all the fucking sculpts are right on.
I want to know how Motormaster has a trailer though, like looking like that in bot
So some
mode.
of these are
Where's
already
the
out there.
trailer?
He doesn't. He
Oh, he
obviously
doesn't?
I mean, he obviously doesn't. There's no way.
What about if his back unfolds into some monstrosity of fucking panels?
Well, it's possible.
So is it basically they took the Optimus design and inverted it, so instead of the front of the truck being the chest and the back of the truck becoming the legs, it's the opposite. So like the fifth wheel will be in the middle of the spine.
Well, maybe the
Words.
trailer is the combiner parts. That would make sense.
Yeah,
But they're not going to show us that because, screw us.
and
So-
that's
so-
fucking perfectly fine.
So are the rear wheels on his love handles? Those are the rear wheels of the truck.
Yeah, maybe.
I guess, yeah. But if you look below, there is a second image of two different Motormaster designs. The one that's up here prominently displayed, and one that looks a little bit more tune accurate.
Well, it has
Because
toes.
as good as this is, the top one, the entire cab is the leg on this, which isn't accurate.
Instead of just the feet, yeah. I wonder if he's going to... Is that, like, indicating that there's two molds that they're working on? Or
Yeah.
that there's going to be an alternative combine mode? Or another mode? Maybe you just spin his legs around on the bottom and it changes.
Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe the back of the shield and shit looks
Could
like
be.
the alternate. But yeah, I'm probably gonna buy these. They look pretty good.
what is the estimated combined height of this one? This
I
model?
don't-
7-8 inches.
It's got to be taller than that.
Now the fucking Iron Factory little dude, he's
Yeah,
probably
true.
about 7, so I'd say, about 8.
Oh wow, so he's pretty small then. Okay.
Yeah, these things are tiny.
I didn't realize the scale of them.
Yeah, that's why they're so remarkable. We got people fucking up masterpiece sculpts. These guys are making these little chicken nugget sized things that look like real robots.
I think it all has to do with weight, because at this scale, you don't have the gravity of.
Right, the tolerances on the joints.
True. But yeah, these are gonna be great. I can't wait to put them on this little shelf right in front of me. All right, so I guess let's move on to this is the most impressive Takara thing we've seen in a while. The TakaraTomy Transformers LGEX big powered. I call it big powered convoy, but I don't think that's right. But it's
Die Atlas, bro.
Yeah, I know what it says. I'm just saying what I call it. Die Atlas,
Oh.
Sonic Bomber, and Roadfire. And this actually looks like something. Congratulations.
Yeah, they just took the Overlord / Sky Shadow mold and redid it up this way.
Yeah, but it looks really good.
Yeah, it does.
Like all three of them look good, and I'm sure that whatever they're supposed to be, they look like it. And there we go.
Oh, wait. So the combined form is Die Atlas? Or...
No.
Yes. Oh,
No.
man.
There's like Die Atlas is the middle bot, and then I guess fucking armor them up some weird Japanese way with the fucking other two.
Big gang bang convoy.
So what are the other two made out of?
Hopes
They
and
make the
dreams.
original molds.
Okay,
Wait,
so
hold on. Well, the other one, they look like a aerial bot mold, kind of.
So Die Atlas is a remold of Overlord, but then these other two characters are meant to combine with him and are remolds of something else.
And well, it looks like the red and blue one is a jump starter, either topspin, twin twist.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
But
I don't think the
jet, I
bottom-
don't know.
I don't think that the bottom two robots combine with him in bot mode. I think they only combine in vehicle mode. Because I don't see in this picture where all of them are attached to him. It looks like it's all just him.
I did see one very blurry picture of it in vehicle modes attached to each other. That I do
Yeah, I
know.
saw that.
So I don't know if, like you said, if they combine with the robot mode at all.
I think the black one is actually a remold of Misfire.
Possibly.
Maybe. Well, it's some kind of jet. It's definitely a remold. If they didn't make something original just for this. I wonder if they're
Yeah.
headmasters. I think they are headmasters.
I'm looking at Misfire right
Masters.
now, and the molding looks very similar, especially with the cockpit of the plane being up above behind.
Just a cock.
So that's what I'm thinking.
So nobody's buying this?
No.
I would buy it on sale, but what I've seen is like $150, and that's a big no.
I'll tell you what, I'll go to Ollie's, get the 1999 and paint the motherfucker up.
And I'll give you
I don't do it
$35
good
for it.
either,
when it's
just-
done.
I've seen people
Good
sharing
enough.
their customs of Die Atlas in comparison to the official one, and the customs look fine.
Yeah. You know what doesn't look fine? Wei Jiang Overlord. Or Wei Jiang Omega Supreme.
Ugh.
Yo, battle damage.
Yeah. These are the ones that didn't sell them and sitting in the fucking warehouse for a while. They didn't even do anything to them.
Nah, dude, those fucking things sold out. They're fucking finally doing a second run.
Yeah.
People actually want this fucking thing.
Man, that was my favorite. That was my favorite day this year was when that shit was announced and it was $200. God.
Yeah,
I
the
forget-
reissue's coming out for $220. I don't know if that was the original price or not.
Yeah, it's just stupid.
I don't know, dude. Looks kind of cool.
Tell you
Yeah,
what,
Wei Jiang was gonna be their $100 fucking big Omega Supreme champion, and they came out and it cost the same as a DX9.
dude, but seriously, why can't there be a $100 fucking version? Why can't
Well,
there
there
be
can
like
be.
just a crappy-ish, hunk of junk plastic?
Well,
You
that's probably what this
plastic,
is. except for-
fucking thin piece of
I'm,
shit.
I'm starting to get a little budget conscious lately, so why does everything have to be fucking done to the nines? Give
Yeah,
us
where they
fucking
just glue
cheaper.
the pieces together instead of use screws, even.
No, I like shit that lasts. I don't like garbage. I just want that. They need to just sell that little dude for $30.
Yeah.
The little scientist guy. I paid $30 for his ass.
35, bro.
I-
No, I wouldn't pay. I paid 35, maybe ship. I ain't paying 35 for his ass.
I paid 40. JC got 40.
Oh.
Nice. Well, I should wait till JC gets out and just buy the whole damn thing for $40. But yeah, I mean, it looks all right. I can't get myself to buy a $200-something Wei Jiang when the fucking MechFansToys and DX9 is right around the same price.
Yeah.
Yep, I ain't buying it regardless, but
Pass.
Anybody-
it does look cool.
I tell you what, the blue one looks really good though.
Yeah, but I'll wait till it's like $89.
Didn't JC get one of them?
You got the Fans Toys one.
Well, obviously. But
Yeah, JC
got a blue
spends
one.
more money out of the hobby than he does in the fucking hobby. I'm out. I'm gonna buy all the MPs. All right, so moving on. This is going to be a very special custom spotlight tonight because we have Kingbotz in the house. He's got these ladies in this picture too.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Yeah, who are they?
how much custom work did you do on the ladies that were posing there?
Not enough. I mean, they were off limits.
Nice.
Oh,
I had just actually met them both the same day that we did the photo shoot. So they were very cool, very down to earth girls that saved the day. They came in at the last minute.
They were
and
very down.
They came.
Never
wow.
mind. Yeah.
Well, you know, they kind of came in at the last minute and saved the day. The photographer, it's kind of a long story, and I'm going to try to keep it short.
Well, this is kind of the one I want to hear you talk about.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, there's bitches
Give us the
that are
abridged
half
version.
naked with giant tits
Yeah,
standing
and
next
yeah.
to your fucking Devastator posing. Like,
the breast
this is
force.
something worth hearing about.
Here's my breast force.
Hey, yeah, buddy.
Are these paid whores?
So,
I said, are these paid whores?
No, but you know, a lot of people thought I caught so much flack about this photo shoot. There's a lot of pics that I didn't put online because it just would have got
They
too
were
much
racy.
too much grief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are
There
you
was
saying
like this-
that
there's-
TKO
Can you
exclusive?
send us some of them?
Yeah,
I
TKO
won't leak
exclusive
them.
pictures.
I can.
Yeah,
I'll
we
send
won't
you.
leak
There's
them, we
one that
promise.
I just decided not to. I think I put the one where it looks like the old Copper Tone commercial where Scavenger's scoop is kind of like pulling at the girl's thong in one. I think I managed to put that one online. There's one where the girl in the green, she's standing with her legs. It was just like a James Bond type shot where you see Devastator through her legs. It's like shot is taken from it. There's a lot of pics that I just decided not to put online. I was already getting enough flack about the girls wearing the 6-7 inch stripper heels and all this shit, and then I was like, these girls aren't strippers. They look like it, yeah, but they do modeling on the side.
Who the
They're
hell?
the professional women. They're
Who
not,
are these dry motherfuckers that were saying this?
I just kind of went overboard with it because this was my first custom that spun way out of control. It evolved as it went along, and I was like, I wanted to make it special. Okay, what do I do to establish scale? So my friend that was coming over here and wasting
He's
my
like,
time.
get some bitches in bikinis, bro.
And he was the one that said, dude, why don't you know what you should do? Because I was going to have this photo shoot done with a white background, but you have nothing to reference other than the toys that are
have
stored
anything
on
to
it.
reference the scale of it.
And he said, dude, why don't you put some Barbie dolls up on the shoulders? I said, yeah, that would be funny as hell, and people could
Barbie
see
dolls on the shoulders.
You know what? Somebody would have triggered over that too.
just how big he is. And then he just took it even further. Said, dude, why don't you get real girls to pose with it? And so I started scouting.
Yeah.
I was in a time limit before my first
your boy
BotCon
sounds cool as fuck.
in 2006. I had to. I was scrambling. I went to the strip club to try to find girls that were confident enough to pose with this thing in a bikini. Women are very self-conscious about their bodies. So I mean, what better place to start than a modeling agency or a strip club? So strip club, nobody. I couldn't find anybody. I'm running out of time. I'm trying to bring this thing, get this thing ready, get the pictures done, get a website done, ready for BotCon 2006. That was my first BotCon, and I was bringing this thing. I had to get the pictures up. So I'm scrambling, and a photographer happened to know these girls, and they came through at the last minute, saved the day, and stuck with it in an extra hour. We did it was a really fun shoot, and it was like it was over before I knew it, and they were actually having fun, and it was very different. So yeah, we did a lot of different poses, and I caught a lot of flack from that, but it established scale, and it kind of tongue-in-cheek type pictures. It gave scale, and it kind of gives you some eye candy to look at the same time. It's like, man, this is like you got best of both worlds here.
Oh yeah.
What did you make this thing out of, man?
Everything that I could get my hands on. I did a lot of things the hard way because this was my first custom, and I just really overdid it, overcompensated, did a lot of redundant things with materials that I really didn't need to do. I mean, it was all based on Tonka trucks, and I think one remote control scavenger, what I just used for scavenger. I think that was parts from actually from RC. No, that was the second Devastator I did. I take that back. These were all Tonkas. And the MixMaster was actually based on a fire truck, and half of that was scratch built anyway. So it was based on Tonka trucks, and the inside the legs, PVC pipe, outer legs, baseboard, particle board, styrene plastic, picture frames. I'm moving way up the body here. It's like a lot more particle board. Needed to be stable, sustain its
Right.
hold its support its own weight. PVC pipes. It was totally modular. You could take it apart, pivot.
Did you say picture frames?
Picture frames? Yeah, on the inside vents of the legs.
Okay.
There's picture frames I got from Michaels that I added. I cut and added some baseboard trim, Carpenter's trim to make the vents there. So
that crown molding up in that motherfucker.
Yep.
You know, stained oak.
Mold. I think it was. I think it was like half round or something like that. I cut into sections and created the vent. You know, the vent look on inside of the frames, and that so that gave those little wood knobs.
That's totally quarter round.
There was like spindles in the back. I used velour. You could actually store the original Devastator and Long Haul's bed in the back. When you broke it down, it had shelves in it. Geez. I mean, it stored 30 Transformer toys all over it. All 3 guns, all the tapes, Soundwave, 2 of the Devastators.
Transformer storage.
So it was a big toy box.
Transformer.
Yes, that was another thing that evolved, and I added to it as it went by to store. And implement.
Now my mind's been blown, bro.
There were 30 toys total stored all over this thing, and I placed them strategically on different parts of the body so that the toys, without altering the colors, would blend in with that particular part of Devastator. Like Dirt Boss, nice. It was purple. He was already purple and green, so he already kind of blended in with the.
So it's kind of like a hidden gem, like an Easter egg if you're looking at it.
Yep. So nice. Dirt Boss made the cod piece. Shockwave's in his hand. Soundwave's embedded in his right arm on the top.
Oh, I didn't even notice the Shockwave in the hand.
Yeah, that was the black one. What was that? Soundwave.
And there's an MP Megatron hanging in the back there.
Yep, there's a Galvatron and Megatron hanging in the torso. There's an Energon Megatron on the chest.
Shit.
Well, Energon Galvatron actually.
Yeah.
Energon Galvatron blended in with the chest. So he was the purple was off, but I managed to get it in there. There was the black version of Soundwave as a reissue for the arm to blend in with the black.
I see it there. Nice.
When you flipped over Hook's crane mast, that extended out. It telescoped out with a channel inside that held the Universe miniature Devastator trucks, and all of those were inside there. And when you turn it around, it actually stored the original toy broken down into 3 shells in the bed. And there was like some crazy sword that they came out with at the time. It was an extendable, like a purple and green sword.
Okay, that was a Energon Megatron sword.
That's what. Yeah, it made noises when you hit stuff with it. And in the back, you could store that on the back. So 30 toys altogether were stored on this thing. He could hold it. I wanted it to hold
hidden in plain sight. I didn't even notice them until you started talking about them.
Yep, there 30 toys all together on this stored on this thing. It was just kind of one of those things. My mind was this is my first custom. My mind was just spinning. It was dancing with ideas. I was excited, and it was like I wanted to change things and do all this and all that. And supposed to be a one-time thing, sell it on eBay, never do it again. And then it just kind of jump-started things. And I was on automatic after that. It was just I had so many ideas, not enough time and energy in the day, and here I am. How many years ago was that? Jesus, 12 years, 13 years later, I'm still doing it full force.
Did you sell that one?
I did. Kept it. I got so attached to it, I kept it. MixMaster's barrel turned too. You could hit the switch and it would turn, and his eyes would light up. I kept it for about 3 or 4 years.
He had switches on that shit too.
Yeah. I kept it for about 4 or 5 years, and then finally let it go. A guy emailed me one day, wanted to buy it for his brother's birthday, and he said I named him a price, and he bought it, paid for it in full. I shipped it off, and then saw it again on eBay. He sold it, resold it about a year later, and then somebody bought it and never saw it again. So it's changed hands a couple of times, but I kept it long enough, and finally decided it had to go. I enjoyed it, and so I needed to let it go, pursue other things. Did another Devastator after that, looked much better. But I did a lot of things the hard way on this one. It was heavy as hell. It was top heavy. It was just I wish I had done the visor on the eyes instead of the eyes on the face. It would have totally changed the look of it. I caught flack about that, and just proportionate things. And I don't know. It's one of those things that you kind of look back at your kindergarten drawings and you kind of get embarrassed about it, and you're like, oh God. But you know, you got to start somewhere. So that was my first
Right.
custom, and came in with a bang, and then the rest was history. And then I started doing individual Tonka, transformable Tonka prototypes. I still have those actually. They didn't take off for some reason. People
Here's
just
another
weren't.
thing you should have done different. That girl on the right in the pink, she should have had a purple, like matching the purple Devastator
That's right.
bikini.
Yeah,
It would have
that's
set
right.
that off. Or if better yet, you had them exchange top and bottoms. So one's
Yeah.
opposite of the other.
Oh, you know
That
what
would've
was
set
better?
this photo off.
If they were actually making out.
Oh boy. Yeah, I'm still actually friends with these girls, and that one on the right finally had a kid, and she's still sexy as hell. Both of them are sexy as hell, and everybody was asking about that one in the pink, but I didn't even realize that till years down the line that her bathing suit wasn't matching. I don't know if I think she got the closest thing that she had and wore it. So I mean, it kind of almost
Yeah,
goes
it's fine.
Yeah.
Oh
So
my
it
God,
worked.
Becky, is this purple or is this pink?
It served its purpose for the time being. I guess that was the best she could do at the
I'm so
last
wasted.
minute.
And well,
And,
you let these ladies know that we all said hello.
I will.
Like, sup? How you doing?
Everyone except me. I don't care.
So, the next picture we have here is your pre discussed scissor
Yeah, the
scissor
frenzy that
guy.
looks like that will kill anybody. You just push
Oh,
it into them, they're dead.
Oh, that guy was vicious in the movie. And that was the novelty of him. He was vicious, but he offered comedy relief at the same time. He was like,
I'm assuming this is you standing next to it.
yeah, yep. Man, I was so tired and burnt out that night from taking pictures. I was pissed too. I was so
Nah,
pissed.
dude, you're not a burnout. I'm a burnout.
Yeah.
There's a difference between being a burnout and being burnt out.
Why
Oh.
are you arguing with you?
Oh, okay.
So where are we looking in the next picture?
That is actually the original line, my own original custom Transformers line that I came up with. Those guys are about 16 inches tall. That was, I said, I want to come up with my own
This shit
simplistic.
almost looks like drawings.
Yeah, those are
Yeah,
cool.
they look like cartoon representations. And what I wanted to do was, the goal was to basically, and it's more of a minimalistic, minimal style than it is abstract, but I call it the Transformers abstract line. And I wanted to come up with my own line with just a bare bones, minimal representation of each character, but you still knew there was the character. And what could I do to represent the character with just bare minimal features? And that's what I did here. Was with no matter what direction you turn the figure in, you're going to have solid spaces, solid panels, or and you're going to have empty spaces. So
Now,
you're always.
how many are in this line?
The first, let's see, I believe 5 at this point. I did. The first was the Prime, and each had their little extras you can get with them. Like Prime's got his Matrix, Megatron's got his Energon or a Laserbeak. So I did the Prime. Then I did Megatron second, and then I did Starscream, Coronation version of that one, and then Jazz. So that was 4. And I'm currently working on a Generations Metroplex scale Devastator right now. In that same style. So that one's kind of got put on the back burner for the Frenzy project. So, so it's just, I kind of chip away at it in my spare time.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the biggest to offer in the series. It's going to be about 2 feet tall, Devastator.
These look cool.
Yep. I have fun doing it. I look forward to developing many more characters in that line. So it's just, it's just a matter of time.
And, somebody says, hey, you know what? I really want a Shockwave. You'll figure it out.
Hell yeah. That's one of my one of the main core characters that I've been wanting to do from the cartoon was Shockwave. So it's and Soundwave, him and Soundwave, and possibly Sunstreaker. But man, so many great characters. It's like, where do you start? It's so one by one. So I just kind of waited until a customer comes along and they just want to commission one. That way, I have direction with where to start. But it's a blast. There's so many I want to do. So little time.
Fucking bone bigger than she is.
And this final picture or set of pictures, what is this?
Wow, man, this thing is so much to say about this. So little time, but it's basically a 5 years. This thing has been in the works, and it's
holy, look at the fucking claw hand.
It is based on Generations Metroplex, and The story of this guy is about 5 years ago. This clown approached me on Facebook one day, and as far as I'm this guy, and I say that because this guy, I lost all respect for this guy for what he did to me. It was pretty dirty.
Make sure you drop his name so we can all make fun of him.
You know what? I had to think about it for a second. It's been so long. His name was Monty Allen. It was some guy.
I never heard of him.
He kind of dropped out of the community after I shamed him on my page. I said, look out for this guy because he pretty much left me hanging and blocked me. This guy. Well, so the story was he wanted this a transforming steel mill basically, and he wanted something to look like. So I based this thing on Bethlehem Steel Mill in Pennsylvania. It's been shut down 18 years ago. He said, I want transforming evil steel mill titan, a new character based on the Generations Metroplex. So I said, okay, what's your budget? So we got started, and I started building on this thing and building, and of course, it was like everything else that I do, I got out of hand, and I started adding this and adding that, and I was like, man, this is getting crazy, but it's gonna be phenomenal. I said, if I can make this work and make that work. And it continued to grow and evolve and turn into something and go beyond the budget. And he was like, man, this is insane what it's turning into. And it said, so the idea was to make it totally transformable and not a parts farmer. Everything remains connected during transformation. So that was the challenge. And the next challenge was, okay, how am I add this other stuff, make it as big as possible and imposing as possible in mill mode as much as he is in robot mode. And this guy's getting really excited about it, and he's like, meanwhile, this guy was blowing money on other stuff and smoking weed and buying shit that he didn't need, and he would tell me I dropped $2,000 on Christmas presents and never had money. And he sent me the figure, so I got the figure, but he wasn't sending payments meanwhile. So that was my first big mistake, not getting a deposit on it. So, but meanwhile, we're maintaining a good rapport and everything, and about it, I guess this went on for about 2 years as this thing progressed. And one day, the guy just finally in front of me, and I was like, "Where is this guy?" He in front of me, blocked me on Facebook.
Oh, he went ghost.
He ghosted me, totally ghosted me, totally. Skip town, not a word. The guy just pushed out and just handled it like a total bitch and just disappeared. And
what
I was
a loser.
That's a bitch move.
You got to be fucking kidding me. This guy really just did this to me. I mean, just totally left me hanging, disappeared, and here I am stuck with this thing that I invested so many hours and a few $100s in materials and time at this point. And, this thing has turned into, it just totally evolved into something different that, what it was originally proposed. So, now I'm stuck with this thing. I was like, well, at least I got a toy out of it. And then I generated so much interest. I couldn't believe how much interest this thing had generated on the TFW boards. And I think it's actually surpassed 100,000, what was it, 180,000 views since 2013. That's insane. That is most views in thread engagement that I've had on any given thread ever, and it continues to people bump it every now and then to try to get me get an update. And I promise, I assure everybody it's still in the works. It's still it's actually developed a lot more since these pics. It's got half of the thing is done now. It's weathered and painted, and so that blast furnace will actually have a working LED and smoke coming out of it. So it just kept progressing and just getting more and more involved. And so it transforms, and the guy even had somebody make a custom head for him. I mean, I don't know what the hell happened, but here I am. I'm stuck with this thing, and so now it's still an unnamed Titan. I got to come up with a name for it that that fits the character. So it's pretty much like story is basically this deserted, abandoned steel mill that's been there for forever, and he surfaces every now and then. He's like a demon. He's pretty much like he's like a demonic. He's like
JC.
Yeah.
And these little guys at the bottom, to top it off, I came up with like these cargo trains. Basically, these guys are trains that turned into snakes, big mechanical snakes that they have magnets inside them, so they can actually combine side by side and to form a bigger
I was just
snake.
looking at these. These look cool.
You can
Are
combine
those little coal cars or whatever they are? Are they hauling around fucking gold chains or something in them?
Nice.
yeah.
That's what
That
it kind
is
of looks
actually-
like, rope chains that are just kind of like laid in there.
Yep, that is actually little. I made logs at the end of both of them, and I put like what it's supposed to be. It'll be painted as iron, like iron ore, in the first two cars, and you have like your chemical cars back behind there. They have magnets inside of them, so you can snap them together. They combine and form one big snake. So these guys are called Fang Bang and Strike Plate, and you combine them to form Slam Track, the big snake. And
Now, did they go along with
Nice.
the steel meal thing, or?
yes, they do actually.
Okay,
I don't
was
think
gonna say.
they are a part of the diorama. They're part of the mill mode. When in mill mode, I don't have them in the mill mode picture up there, but that ramp that's coming up to the building on the right, one of the trains goes in there. It can actually go up inside of the building's entrance, and then the
Like
other
they're
one,
dropping off materials or like hauling
Right.
away shit.
yep,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
right,
nice.
that right there is the stock house where the materials come in on the right, and then it goes up that conveyor belt into the blast furnace. So I did my homework on this, the anatomy of a steel mill. I wanted all the basic functional
Functions, yeah,
components of a steel mill to be present and recognizable. The blast furnace, the stacks, the coolers, and the stock house on the right. So all the recognizable stuff. And the trains kind of came along later on as, there's the other train comes in. It's like an outbound train on the left-hand side down there by the little
Right.
cooling tanks. So it extends out even further. So that entire diorama spread out in mill mode. It's probably about 4 feet wide, so it's pretty imposing. It's pretty big. Those cables that are coming off of that stack on the left come down all the way down. Those act like leashes for those snakes, those mechanical snakes in robot mode. So they kind of latch on to the snake. So it's like his evil minions, his pets when he's in robot
Oh, so
mode.
like he's like a chain for his fucking pets.
Right. Kind of
Ballin'.
like Soundwave and his minions. So he's
Dude,
got
this
these,
thing's
these
this thing's actually pretty fucking hardcore, dude. I'm gonna.
Yeah, I
I
like
have to
this.
say
It's
that.
pretty cool.
Yeah, I used anything and everything I get my hands on to make. I've got PVC pipe, detergent caps, electrical conduit in there. I've got some kind of role-playing plant components. It was like a that I use for like the trestling and stuff like that on the legs. I use a Gatorade bottle.
One of the stacks looks like a fucking lightsaber hilt on the far left there, almost,
Yeah,
or like a multi screwdriver or some shit with a ratchet.
that all that stuff pivots and it remains. And that was the challenge, getting this thing to support its own weight and transform and remain connected. Everything remained connected with no parts forming to transfer. That was the other challenge. Then I had to, of course, reinforce all the joints because he was falling over under all the added weights, and that was another challenge. So I overcame all that, and so this is it, and it's in the very early stages. It was advancing pretty consistently until that happened, and I kind of got discouraged after that guy skipped town, and
And got
there were
put on
other
the
things
back
took
burner.
course, and there was something else I wanted to mention about this thing. I can't remember what it was now. There's so much to say about this.
Well, dude, I will say that. Oh, go ahead, dude.
It's the one last thing on this. I totally forgot. It's been so long that I revisited this project. But he will have like little cleanup workers that are implemented into the into both into the mill mode, like cleanup
Like
guys,
human minions?
construction guys that are only maybe about 5/16. They have little hard hats and stuff I got from the hobby
Oh,
store.
nice.
But the cleanup guys that are maintaining the plant to keep it from totally falling apart will be placed throughout. And somebody gave me a bright
That's
idea.
human slave minions,
Yeah, that actually, if you get to truly
like
give
little
it scale,
figurine dudes.
to
and
truly
make
give
them,
it
like-
scale. Yeah, and so
Yeah.
what I ended up doing with one of those little guys was I
Human
modded him and
alliance figures, bro.
I painted them. I painted one of the little. I took one of those little guys and modded him to look like somebody gave. I can't remember who gave me this idea, but I thought it was cool as shit because of the way the mill mode is going to look. It's going to look like something that Freddy Krueger. Like at Freddy Krueger's headquarters, pretty much. Somebody said, "Why don't you get a Freddy Krueger in there?" So I took one of those little figures and I used a toothpick and painted it and made him a little hat and everything. So there's going to be like a little Freddy Krueger Easter egg in there somewhere. I don't know how I'm going to implement him in there, but he's going to be in there.
Do a Scary Terry instead.
So yeah, that guy. It's collecting
Scary
dust down
Jerry.
there on the
I don't
floor.
know.
Just
Yeah,
waiting.
you'll get around to it when you get some time. I mean,
Oh,
you've been working on it for 5 years.
Now I just got to find a buyer that's got the balls to buy it now, because I mean that thing's going way beyond budget, and it's just.
Well, I think asshole of the week is the guy that ghosted on you. With
Yeah,
it.
for sure.
That's asshole of the week.
Yeah, he disappeared, never saw him again. But I made sure to blast him in his face on Facebook, and made sure everybody looked out for him and stay away from this guy. So I haven't seen him since. I think he's pretty much disappeared.
He went and ghost.
Yep. And what's disappointing about that is I still have some common friends with him that are still friends with him that I know they know who he is, but for some reason they remain friends with him. And it's kind of disappointing, but what can you do?
Well, I mean, that's kind of how we keep JC around here.
True. Well, speaking of blasting you in the face.
Yeah.
Woo!
Knockoff Korner. Look at this thing.
Yay!
This
That's
thing
You know
looks
what?
cute, actually.
Is it really a knockoff, though? Did anybody actually make a real one of these?
No, I mean, we don't.
What is that?
Knockoff
is-
Corner is
It's a
kind of
popsicle,
loose
bro.
thing.
It is a transforming suppository, but it's used.
Mm.
It looks like a green tampon that's been just pulled out and oversized.
Oh,
And put in the wrong hole. After a corn on the cob day.
But it is neat as shit, and I would probably buy this if I saw this somewhere for like $1 or $2.
I would too.
But it's probably $14.95 from Sir Toys with $180 shipping.
It's a transforming popsicle. I mean,
You know what I miss?
It's pretty cool.
I miss fucking Sir Toys Warpath, Dusty Warpath.
Yeah, how come we
Yeah,
haven't
he hasn't
seen
made a
Warpath?
lot of appearances lately.
I think
No.
he died, and they just keep dragging his corpse out to do the photo shoots.
It's all Titans Return Blur now.
Yo, I think that maybe Warpath had a alt mode change, and now he's Blur.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, so cute little popsicle stick robot man. Next.
He looked like
Okay.
Knock in his face,
Oh,
huh?
asshole of the week is the guy that fucking
Ghosted on that custom.
fucking dude to make him that still meal and then pulled out at the last second like a bitch.
Yep. I mean, he couldn't even tell me like a man. He had to
What was
back
the
out.
guy's name again?
I would have had all the respect for him in the world if he had done it the right way and had just said, "Look, man, I can't afford this. I got to back out." Fine, it's like, let me keep the toy. His name was Monty Allen.
I know where you can
Alright.
find him. I bet he's in Legions.
Yeah,
Monty
I don't
Allen?
see him I
You're
never
a
see him in
fucking
any of the
idiot.
groups anymore.
You're the asshole of the week.
Yeah, he's in Legions selling fucking dropship
Jerseys
jerseys
for
on their website.
$230.
God, shout out to that motherfucker for trying to make a hustle, though. That's
That guy
dedication.
should be the asshole of the week, actually.
No,
Yeah.
man, I can't hate a hustler, dude. He was trying, man.
Man,
He
I
just
did
wasn't
get a
real
free-
smart about it.
Yeah. I mean, to go out like that, man, I was like, God damn, I lost all respect for him. Like,
No, not your guy. Fuck your guy. He can burn in hell forever. We're talking about the guy that was trying to hustle dropship jerseys on.
oh.
I think he was going to, basically middleman an order from the 80stees.com or whatever.
Yeah.
And he was trying to sell jerseys that were 135 shipped for 200 plus shipping or something.
Mm-hmm.
He was going to take a $50 to $70 handling fee and
Mhm.
probably just order it and have it sent to your address instead of his. Actually, the guy might have even taken the time to have it shipped to his and then shipped to you. So you probably would have even waited longer for one than just ordering it from 80s Tees.
All right, so moving on, we got my segment, JLs Super Thrif, because I renamed it.
Thrift.
Super Thrif. And every week I will feature a deal until me and Bedbugs have to trade positions back. And this week is actually something I bought, so I can actually vouch for it. I'm sure there's a lot of gamers that listen to the podcast. I'm a particularly large Battlefield fan.
Is that a young Eddie Murphy?
No, it's not. Damn it. No, it's not. It's one of the protagonists from the campaign mode that I don't remember.
I I want the knife.
But anyways, for $24.99 shipped, you can get
Battlefield.
the
That's
Battlefield
figure?
1 collector's edition that was probably like $300 without the game. So for $25 you get like a deck of cards, a steel book that you can hide crack in,
Cool.
some patches, some swag, some posters. But you also get like a 1/6 scale fucking soldier statue from World War I that comes with 2 interchangeable hands. He comes with a Luger, actually I think that's a PO8, and a spiked club. But you can swap the left hand out for a shotgun, or you can swap the right hand out for a 1911. And it's very detailed, and it looks really great. And for $25, it's a freaking steal. If you want, a representation of a World War I soldier from a Battlefield game, which I do.
You get all that shit for $25.
It's $25
that's
shipped. It's $25 shipped. That box weighs like 10 pounds. They got to be making like $1.50 on this shit. I think they're just trying to clear the warehouse of these things.
Probably.
But I mean, for $25, it's a really cool statue, and I love Battlefield. I've been playing Battlefield 1 since it came out.
Oh yeah.
So I highly recommend this for that much money.
Sometimes shit like this fucking sells for crazy money later.
Yeah, well, maybe, but I put it on top of my DTOF.
I obtained a few like video game figures like this, and like a Gears of War Lancer from a guy like a couple years ago. I didn't pay shit for him. I ended up selling the shit for like crazy profits, dude.
Well, that's why I saved the box. But it is cool, and like I said, that's the coolest thing I've ever gotten for $25.
Had like a Halo statue I ended up selling for like $100 or something.
I want a Halo statue. But he also has electronics. I have not put the batteries in it yet.
Gears of War statue. I don't know.
Maybe. But I haven't put the batteries in it yet, so I have no idea how it works or like where the button is, because I looked all over this dude. I don't see a button. So I don't know what the batteries
Maybe it's on his painter.
Maybe. But so yeah, that's my pick of the week. If you like Battlefield 1 at all and big statues, this is a really good deal. So moving on, we have our guest segment. This is the 13 questions. We're going to give you the gauntlet of questions, and I think you were probably ready for it.
Well,
So,
actually, I hadn't scrolled all the way down until now, so I'm trying to.
You're not. It's
You
supposed
don't
to be
need to look at
spontaneous.
him. You don't need to look at him. We'll
It's
ask.
spontaneous.
They have been not preparing for this.
Yeah. So, what's your preferred name or handle, buddy?
Like an everyday life or online or
Whatever. Yeah.
Well, you know
want to
what?
be called.
I don't know what the hell my parents would think when they called me Shannon. I think it was an Irish male name, popular Irish male name back then, but I always hated it. So everybody calls me Shane now, but as far as artist alias, Kingbotz. So
All right. Nice.
What about King Shane?
that'll
There you
work.
go. Switch it up.
Yeah.
King Shannon.
Shane
So-
Bots. Or
So what year were you born?
74.
Almost got Chris.
Yeah, almost got him.
Yeah. Sitting there up on his mountaintop, Lord of the old nerds.
We've only had one guest that was older than him, right?
Yeah, it was Peter Weller. It was Chris Mike Walker. Anyways, what's your favorite sandwich? This is the important one.
Oh, that's a toss-up, man. It'd have to be a toss-up between a fish sandwich and a hamburger.
What kind of fish sandwich? You gotta give me more detail than that.
Oh, like fillet of fish, man. I've been,
I will eat the fuck out of a fillet of fish though.
and I love tuna. I've been picking out on those things since I was a kid, and I still can't get over that irresistible smell. When I smell them cooking, even Burger King they're selling fish sandwiches now, and I ate like 3 of those the other day.
Yeah, those are good. Especially when they added into
You
the
ate-
2 for
you
6
ate-
shit.
3 of those?
I ate 3 of them. I was so hungry. I ate that and an order of onion rings and
That's like 2,000 calories.
yeah. I hadn't eaten anything all
It's
day
fine.
long.
I
but
do
you
that
gotta
shit all the
understand,
time.
I'm like 6'2" and 210 pounds, and I work out a lot. So I jerk off once or twice
Yeah,
a
see,
day.
I do all
So I
that
burn a lot of
except for the
calories.
working out part.
God, there's man.
I'm very
He's
active.
releasing protein. He needs to administer it.
Gross. I sweat vodka, so you don't have that superpower. So, what's your favorite music?
Oh, that's a loaded question, but in a nutshell, I grew up in the '80s, so I stay true to I love '80s pop and rock. I mainly do '80s and '90s karaoke, but as far as what music I listen to while I'm customizing, I am hardcore. I love breakbeat and electro breaks, a little
Damn.
bit of techno, a little bit of trance, but I love my electro robotic music. That synthesizer goes all the way back to Kraftwerk up until now, and got back into it. Love industrial rock, Nine Inch Nails, but electro, always go back to electronic music.
Alright.
Kind of goes along with the hobby. It fits the theme,
Robots.
like robotic music, basically.
Robots.
Robot. So, what got you into collecting or back into collecting?
Oh wow, yeah. After a long hiatus, I stopped. I got out of the toys in the late '80s. That's another long story. My mom went on a rampage one day and lost all my toys. But so I didn't start getting back into them until I started doing the customizing thing, and that's actually how it started. I started collecting, and I woke up one day and I said, "This is not enough. I want to do more. There's something out. There's something missing." I was buying toys, but it wasn't, scratching that itch. And that's when I started building. Well, that started in 2005. I started collecting again, and it was the whole. I got on eBay actually. I started seeing all these old Transformers and Voltron toys that I wanted as a kid but never got, and it was actually eBay that kind of got the ball rolling again. And then I started ordering them, and every day was like Christmas. Dinobots, Devastator, Bruticus, Voltron. Finally got my hands on these toys after all these years. Prime, Megatron, Shockwave, alternators, and then I'm finding all these other lines that I missed out on over the years, and it was like it was never ending. It was like, it was draining my bank account, and but I just couldn't stop. It's like this is crazy, So I got my Lion Voltron, always wanted. I got the ship Voltron, the team, the land air ship, land air sea team, and got everything that I wanted. And when I kind of started to get that out of my system, then I started building, and that's when I got the wild hair to build the Tonka Devastator, because I was like, this is not enough. I got to do more. I got to do something, and that's what it was. That's what was missing. I wanted to build. I actually wanted to, just really get into it and do it myself, and that's how it happened. And it was like then I stopped collecting after that, and I minimized my collection, oddly enough. So it's very minimal now.
No, mine's the opposite of that. So what scale do you collect then, since you minimized it?
Well, I try to stick to G1 scale stuff now, because not only do I have limited space, but I stick mainly to the core toys that I had as a kid. And I have friends that are buying me stuff all the time, little knickknacks that they'll pick up, like some gas station KOs that she found the other day at a gas station. I call them Shell Farmer because she found them at a Shell station. They were really funny, oddly colored mini bots and stuff like that. I like little novelty stuff like that, but smaller stuff is what I stick to now. I have very minimal collection of original toys, like G1 Prime, the 2 Voltrons. I have a couple of mini bots. I got like a Huffer and a Power Dash, or the G1 GoBot Puzzler. And I am just a robot fanatic. I've always been a robot freak as a kid. I knew early on. My parents bought me robots in the late '70s, and then it was just. It was only natural when Voltron and Transformers and GoBots came along in the early '80s that I got into them and I was hooked. It was just the rest was history. It was just so I stick to smaller stuff. I don't get into the big stuff too much. I don't have the room for it. But if I did have the room for it, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind going bigger. So I don't really have a preference. I like big ones and little ones. I like them all.
So, do you have a Focus collection or any non-Transformers collections?
I do, and I'm the kind where because I have such a vast array of genres that I enjoy, and robotic characters from different lines. Say I have 2 or 3 Wally characters, Wally figures. I have a big RoboCop. I have like an 18-inch RoboCop.
Ooh, tell me more.
It's like a sound chip in it. You press a button, it'll say stuff in the movie. I have a little.
Is it a NECA figure, or how old is that RoboCop that's that big?
It is like a vinyl figure. You can switch out the hands. He's got a gun, and it's got a motion sensor on it, and you can, you wave your hand. It's I think I bought that back in when I started collecting again. That's got to be about 12 years old.
I ain't never seen that thing. I have the Hot Toys ones, like the ones
Yeah,
for
I don't know
scale.
what he's talking about either.
Now JL wants it.
Yeah, whatever it is, I want it.
About 20 inches tall. I don't know what I did with the box. What was that KO that somebody? It's not the Robo Bob. It is
Robert Kopp.
Robert Kopp.
Robert Kopp. That's what. The box. Yeah, this actually had the correct font on it, and the name on it, and everything. And I can't remember where I got it. It was like 20 inches tall. It's huge. It's awesome. And I have a Master Chief. I have a Halo Master Chief cyborg figure next to that. So I like robots from different genres all the way across the boards. I just love
Robert Kopp.
Robert Kopp. Yeah, it was like I think it was.
I
like
want a Robert Kopp.
You
I
were
would
thinking?
buy a fucking Robert Kopp.
Yeah,
We just talked about him like a month ago.
Robert. I think it was a KO, and that's how they got around it. They changed the name up on the
Yeah,
box.
he made it as a knockoff corner like a month ago.
And now it's a legend.
Robo, yeah, that's it. 18 motion activates sound. That's it. That's the one that I have. It
Where
has
is
a
it?
motion activated sound.
In chat.
It's like 18 inches tall. RoboCop Portman.
Oh,
Yep.
that's pretty badass, man. It looks like that's a NECA figure.
Yeah, it's huge. I forgot what I did with the box, but
I know, and I'm gonna stuff that box.
it still works, and it's an awesome figure. It's huge. I was glad I didn't sell it. I considered selling it at one point, but I think I'm gonna hang on to it.
It's probably like $300 by now.
Whew. Yeah, because it's got to be 12 years old.
That's pretty badass, man. I like that.
I've got a bunch of let's see if I can take a picture. I've got a bunch of Hawaiian lays around his neck right now, like a first prize ribbon. I'm gonna post it. See if I can post it in the messages.
Now you're just abusing it.
First prize, fucking Peener prize.
He needs some gold chains. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Get some gold chains for him.
Dude, wearing gold chains is gay, by the way. I just thought I'd throw that out there.
Let me see if I can attach this.
That's what one of my friends told me.
Did you tell him that he was wrong?
I did.
Did you punch him in the dick?
I haven't had the chance yet, but I will and can.
Good. Do it.
See
You
if
guys
I
are
can
going to watch
post
me
it.
chase JC around, and he's going to run from me.
Yeah.
All
It's
right,
going
here
to
we
be
go.
funny. He's going to talk all that shit.
Yeah, I figured the more stuff I can pile on him. Let's see, did it catch his face? Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, it did. Yeah, dude. There it is.
What
I got
we're
so much
doing, group
stuff
chat stuff?
piled
Here we
on.
are. Oh, wow. I can't even
Oh,
see his
dude,
ass.
You can't even see him, really. You just see his face.
Yeah.
He dusty, too.
Yeah. I have a severe dust issue in here because I do all my work on my figures and stuff right here in the living room, and it's just it's so out of control. It's ridiculous. My AC dust filter is always caked up with stuff. But yeah, he's a party animal.
Oh, you got one of the mailaways I don't have. That little weird freaking robot with the big feet.
Yeah, in the background there.
Yeah, I thought I had one. It's like sometimes I'll buy shit when I'm out of town and like I'll bring it home and I'll fucking forget about it and I lose it. I probably have one somewhere.
And that little thing down there by his feet. Speaking of his feet, I don't know if y'all remember a guy named Crazy Steve that used to go at all the bot cons. That guy pretty much disappeared. I don't know what happened to him, but he actually made a little clay Tetrajet Skywarp down there. I don't know if you can see it in the packaging, but that's what that is down there. He was
That's
passing.
awesome.
He was passing-
Crazy Steve was actually at DairyCon this last year, and I got
Really?
or was it 2 years ago? It might have been 2 years ago because not everyone from TKO was there. So 2 years ago he was in town, and I got to meet him for the first time.
He was a good dude. I liked him, and he kind of started disappearing from the. He stopped going to the bot cons, and I didn't see him for a while.
Well,
But he made those little clay Tetrajets resin. They were made out of resin. He passed them out for free, and I managed to get lucky enough to get one that year.
Damn, I bet that's like something hard to find nowadays.
Oh yeah, Crazy Steve figures. That was he made his own
If you
little.
guys need resin to make figures, man, I can line that up.
Yeah.
Resin.
Yeah. So
Different kind?
Crazy Steve.
Oh,
So
okay.
to knock off or not to knock off?
You know, I can go either way. It all depends on the quality. You know, quality and design. If it's a shitty plastic, I don't want to have anything to do with it. If it falls apart in my hands, you know, if it's got a reputation for falling apart, I don't care for them. But on the other hand, you got something like the Skittle Stater or whatever it was that's so damn ugly. You got to have it. One of those things that
Yeah.
fell apart when you took it out of the. It was you can find them at Walgreens a few years ago, and KO. You know, it all depends on what you mean by KO. Like third party. You know.
No, we mean like straight knockoff. We don't count third party as knockoff.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I got mixed feelings about that. I really do.
Painter.
You know, aesthetics and design and quality. I mean, all that has to do with it. I'm okay with them. I really am. I'm okay. I think that, you know, it's an avenue that they, you know, that they take that the official toy makers don't, and they're just kind of filling in the gaps. And I could see how Hasbro, you know, a company like Hasbro gets, you know, they can get what's
Been
the
out of
word I'm
shape.
looking for? Yeah, that actually started
think
at
they give a fuck.
BotCon years ago. They started
They
banning.
just don't want
third
them.
party.
They just don't want it selling at their convention. Other than that,
Yeah.
I don't think they care.
Yeah, they're straight up. Well, they're straight up, you know, ripping off the designs and characters now. It's like, and then they started getting so brazen about it, and that's why they started banning the third-party dealers' sales at the dealer tables. You know, and they couldn't even. They were trying to control what you sold out of your hotel room too. If they
Yeah,
found
I heard
out, they
about
would
that
ban
too.
you from
Yeah.
So I can understand it from the manufacturer's point
Yeah,
of view,
but-
but it's from the customer. You know, it's, you know, you're looking for something to fill in the gaps. If you can get
Hey
something
Eric.
that,
Hey Eric, how did all that BotCon banning work out for him?
when y'all got banned, what happened?
No, you're
Dude,
talking
I'd be
to
out in my
Eric,
car
the guy
selling
that-
it out of my trunk.
You're
Oh.
talking. You got Bedbugs on here. He's the guy that actually killed BotCon.
Oh, I remember that Facebook page, the bed bugs. What was
Yeah,
that?
that's him. That's Eric.
That was,
me.
I knew it. I knew it. That was some funny shit. Did anybody actually really ever get bed bugs? I mean, was that a thing? Was that a known problem?
No. What it was is that going into the convention, there was some TripAdvisor reviews of the place that had bed bugs like 6 months ago, and somebody shared it on TFW or AllSpark, and then everyone started losing their minds that there was going to be bed bugs at the hotel. So then I decided to have fun with it, and that's what started
And
it
take the
all.
name Bedbugs and say that Bedbugs is going to be there.
Yep.
That
Created a
was
The
profile.
persona.
Said I was going to see everybody at the convention, and Pete and Fun Pub lost their minds over it. They were
Did they?
they were desperately trying to figure out who was in charge of the account.
I remember
Who
that.
But
I always wondered what the backstory was on that. I thought that maybe there was a group of people that had a rash of incident. You know, maybe they were getting notorious for booking hotels that had them. And I was thinking, okay, maybe somebody's finally fighting back, vicariously through a Facebook profile. I thought it was funny at the time, but I realized I got so bent out of shape about it.
It was a straight up
and
classic
that was
game of fucking telephone.
And that was at BotCon. What was that? Is that 16 that it was? Or no? I'm trying to remember what year the last year of BotCon was. Fuck.
Wasn't it 2017?
Year before
Yeah,
last, because
yeah,
they found
I'd say 16.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yep.
15 had to be in Chicago, and then 16 was the last year, and that was in Cincinnati
Mm-hmm.
or Lexington, or no, Louisville. There we go, Kentucky. But yeah, I don't know if anyone else in the fandom felt it, but going into that mess in Chicago, it really felt like Hasbro was getting ready to pull the plug anyway, and then all of a sudden they announced when they were doing the brochures for the Louisville convention, they weren't doing a raffle for the next year, and I immediately noticed that, and people were in denial. It's like, oh, they're just changing things. It's like, no, they're not doing a drawing for the next year's convention because there isn't a next year's convention. And then
And then-
eventually the news came out that that was it.
And then
Pretty much a
Bedbugs
no-brainer,
twisted it
actually.
nice.
But
and it changed so much over the years. It was just a matter of time. It was kind of getting. I went 4 years in a row, and I kind of got bored with it because it was the same thing every year, a different box set, and it was like, man, I'm getting these, spending $800 a trip, and it's like, you know what, it's getting monotonous. Did y'all get a chance to see the Carl Hartman's uploads of the very first BotCon footage on YouTube by any chance? Holy shit.
I don't think I did. I mean, I was in the same boat as you. I went to 3 in a row from 2006, 7, and 8. And then after that, they just kept going to all the southern touristy cities, Florida, California, and Texas, and way too far for me to drive.
Yeah, same here. I don't like flying, and I that's one of my. I think that's one of the answers to the next few questions.
Yeah. So, what movie makes you cry?
Man, that's a good question because I am so thick-skinned and callous. Nothing hardly makes me cry anymore. I mean, I can't really just sit there and just bawl my eyes out and get it out. But I do get choked up sometimes. And when it comes to like animals, I'm like a lot of people. You know, when I see animals die, I think that's what I really can't think of one in particular that made me cry. But I will say this.
Air Bud.
I will say this, as masculine as I tried to walk into that movie theater the other day and not cry, although I knew Prime was going to die. I mean, I actually choked up in the opening scene with where Unicron is the big butthole Unicron is flying through space. I was like, the fact that, you know, I'm trying to imagine what it would have been like for me as a kid to see that. And I started choking up because it was just it would have blown my mind as a kid. But I actually did choke up and tear up a little bit when Optimus Prime died because it was such an iconic moment as far as that goes. But that's a given. I think it was too easy to admit that one. But I'm trying to think of what really got me in the end as far as got me in the gut and made me want to cry. I can't really think of anything off the top of my head.
My Girl.
I never did see that.
Oh.
Never saw it.
He can't see without his glasses.
Oh man, that's one I actually got to think about that. I'm just like, what was the last time I actually choked up during a movie other than the Transformers? Like, but it was because of the nostalgia thing for me as a kid. So, but yeah, animals dying gets me every time. It's just I don't know what it does to me.
All right, now we got a real motherfucking Southerner on here. I want to see how this next question, please.
Uh-oh. Have you done anything? Have you ever done anything untoward for your toy addiction?
Is that another metaphor for like questionable? Have you done anything questionable for your?
Exactly.
You ever suck a dick for an MPO-1?
No, I actually never. I think the only line that I crossed was when I was actually going. We were talking about this earlier. I was going through my toy addiction, and I saw something. I had to have it, and I saw something on eBay, and it never ends on eBay. You want it all, and I was getting back into this after all these years, and it was just coming in like a storm, and I couldn't stop buying stuff. And what a mistake that I made at the time was spending money on the toys rather than paying bills instead, and it did get me into financial trouble because at the time, I'll tell you why I got into the toy addiction. The reason why it was filling that void was because, long story short, in 2004 I got a sports injury that knocked me out of commission for about 4 or 5 months, and I was down and out. I had nothing to get up for in the morning. I was out of work, depressed.
That'll happen.
Had nothing to do, and then I got this eBay account, and this gave me something to live for. I got back into the toys, like, Jesus, this is, for some reason, all that started coming back. I wanted all those old toys again, and it just made me,
bro.
It was a part of my life that I actually kind of missed out on. So, I was getting it back. It was like getting a little piece of me back every time I got a toy in. It was filling that void, gave me something to look forward to, or the reason to get up that day.
It's our generation's version of the midlife crisis.
But yeah,
previous generations would buy a red sports car and fucking cheat on their wives.
Yeah,
we just
shit from my childhood.
My sister was bitching at me because I was actually staying with her. I was in so much pain at the time before I had the surgery, and I actually had a sportsman's hernia. It was very hard to diagnose, and nobody knew what the hell was going on. And I was staying with my sister at the time, and until I recovered, and she actually started bitching at me for spending money that I didn't have on these toys, and I was like. And I screamed right back at her, said, this is the only thing that's giving me joy right now. I mean, fucking leave me alone. Shit. This is.
You're not my mom!
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like here she is lecturing me on spending money, but at the end of the day, yeah, I was spending money on toys instead of bills. And yeah, then it went beyond that, and I started, put stuff on credit cards. So I do regret that. It was, but it passed. So yeah, as far as doing anything questionable to feed my habit, that would have been it.
That's a pretty real answer, so I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it got me through a very, very rough time, very hard time. It was probably the lowest point of my life. I was used to being physically active. Here I am almost, virtually.
Yeah, but look at where you're at now because of it.
Crippled. Yeah, it's strange how things work out, huh?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
but when you're fucking
Kingbotz-
down, you can't see the fucking way out most times.
Right. There was no. It didn't seem like there was any end to that. To the situation I was in. I was at my wit's end. Doctors were misdiagnosing. I was stuck at home out of work, running out of money. No girlfriend at the time. It was the lowest point of my life, and I'm like going nowhere. And I'm like, when is this going to end? I need answers, and I was not getting answers. And this was the thing that filled the void. It gave me a reason to get up in the morning, and totally got my mind off of things. So it served its purpose, and then I started building. So it had not been for that sports injury, Kingbotz probably never would have happened, and became a thing. It's crazy. It's hard to say whether I would have started building stuff anyway later on down the line, but I don't think it would have been the same passion as it was when I was injured and down and out, and just dying to get out of my shell at the time. It was horrible.
Right.
Sometimes-
Without down times in life, you can never identify the good times.
Oh yeah. It pretty much almost was like a
That's
rebirth
knowledge
to
right
me.
there, bro.
Yep.
Keeping it real.
That's knowledge on the end of a gold chain.
Yeah.
Mhm. Without
Sometimes
bad
you
times, how will you ever recognize the good?
Sometimes you just need that Burger King 2 for $4 to get out of bed.
Yep.
or bed bugs.
Yeah.
Mm.
Sometimes bed bugs will get you out of bed too.
I hope I never have to experience that. That sounded like.
Oh, if you go to TFCon, you'll experience bed bugs.
Yeah. They give you a bear hug.
Yeah, you will. And it'll tell you you have a small peener.
Here comes my next favorite question.
Yeah, so what's a weird thing about you? Idiosyncrasy?
No.
Oh, yeah,
no,
wait,
no,
sorry,
no.
man, I skipped that one. Tits, ass, legs, face, or other.
Oh, easily ass. I'm an ass
Oh
man.
yeah, that's right.
Nice.
Now,
Yeah,
are you talking like skinny 80s ass, or are we talking like big fat fucking plump juicy ass that you could put like
big
wear
ass
as a
like
mask
J-Lo.
and shit?
Like nice, round, firm, like J-Lo. Like J-Lo's
Nice.
ass.
Alright,
Fit, but
I am
yet
huge. I have always been an ass man. I knew that early on. I think I discovered that when I was in junior high, when I started looking at the girls. And
dude,
the
I was
girls
like in
started to
4th grade
develop,
when I started checking out girls' butts.
and I knew that it was like I was just obsessed with that part of the woman's body. And I love a pretty face. A pretty face and a big ass, I'm a sucker for that. Jeez.
Right?
I could care less about tits. I like tits. She could be
Mm.
flat-chested, but got to have ass. Got to have something for me to stick my face in.
Hallelujah.
never trust a big butt and a smile.
Yeah, I gotta say the girls with big butts are actually they're highly intelligent. They tend to be a little
Because
smarter.
that's where they keep all their smarts.
Yeah, they are, but they don't even have to be.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like god damn. It's
You
like
already
man,
got me at the ass, but the
like I hate to
brain,
see it.
that's
I hate
cool
to see her
too.
leave. I hate to see her leave, but I love to see her walk away.
Mm.
Yeah. So what's a weird thing about you? Idiosyncrasy, a phobia, etc.
Going back to the what I was alluding to earlier about my phobias. I have a lot of phobias now that I didn't when I was younger, and I do have idiosyncrasies. Yes, I have a fear of flying, and now I have a fear of getting in any kind of water that's not a swimming pool. I have a fear of flesh-eating bacteria, sharks,
Like
stuff
MRSA
like
and
that.
shit.
I don't like the idea of being in a boat or a plane. And now I don't like the idea of being in large crowds. It gives me anxiety. I don't enjoy live bands like I used to. What's a weird thing about me? Yeah, and as far as like, I don't know. I guess I could throw this in there. I've never been married or had kids. I'm kind of
Good
kind
for
of a
you.
loner, I guess. I'm kind of a loner. I've had a couple of prospects. I date and I had my fair share of flings. I'm a late bloomer, actually. What's a weird thing about me? I'm a late bloomer. I lost my virginity at 21. How about that? So,
That's not that late.
you know, once I got out there, I was like a kid in a candy store. And, you know, it's pretty much, I feel like I've spent the past 20 years making up for lost time. But, you know, I got to settle down one day, you know. Can't do that forever. So, yeah, and I cannot sleep with somebody else in the bed.
Not even a chick with a big ass.
Yeah, I can deal with that, but it's still, it's
He'll
like,
just sit there and rub it all night. And
if the
not
girl
fall asleep.
snores, if she snores, it's over.
Oh shit! You just can't
my
stand no noise.
You
Yeah.
just need to go to
Light
sleep
sleep.
and snore before she does.
I cannot sleep with somebody snoring in the bed next to me. That pisses me off, and it's already awkward enough because I'm tall. I gotta have my leg room. You know,
What about a dripping faucet?
dripping. I can deal with that because it's consistent. Like you know, something.
What
I've
about she
actually
consistently snores?
after Katrina, I actually fell asleep to a running generator outside the window because it was consistent. If it's like white noise, like a ceiling fan or a
Right,
window
right, I get
unit,
what
I
you're
can
saying.
do it. You know, if there was an oil rig outside, you know, choo, choo, as long as it's consistent, I can fall asleep to that. Cannot fall asleep to a radio or a TV.
Damn, man, that's wild as shit.
I don't know how people do it. I wish
I
I
gotta
could.
have. I got a fan, man. I gotta have a big ass fan for me to sleep.
That's awesome. I love that white noise. It's just, you know, it just.
I'll deal with the dripping faucet for about a year before I finally fucking take it apart and fix it.
Yeah, man, our fucking bathroom, our main bathroom, it's done that shit for like 10 fucking years.
Oh, dude, last weekend I went around my whole house and fixed anything that was dripping. My water bill was starting to go fucking nuts, and I was like, what the fuck? It's about time I take care of this.
The problem
I've
is
been living here
like,
for like 5 years.
the problem is like, it's like in the wall fucking messed up. Like, I don't know how to fix it, so I just leave it. I need to just pay somebody to do it.
I could like tell you how to do it.
Yeah, but I'll forget right now. Just tell me later.
Yeah, like if you want it fixed, let me know.
All right, cool. All right, so go to sex.
Oh, that's easy. It's, you know, being an ass man, it's always doggy style.
Nice.
Always. Now, go to as far as first things. I mean, I'll end up doing doggy style. I want the girl with her ass facing me. But as far as I like to start out doing oral, that's just my thing, you know. As I got older, I started appreciating the little things, you know, the build up and stuff like that. So I don't always like to jump right into it, but even missionary style, that kind of grew on me as vanilla as that is. But doggy style, man, I cannot resist the sight of that big heart-shaped ass pointing right back at me. It's just a beautiful thing. It feels good. It looks good. God damn it.
Yeah, it is.
It's a beautiful thing. It's just when a girl bends over, it's just like it's got its own personality. And you know, it gets pretty intense sometimes. You got to look away so you can last another 2 or 3 minutes, you know. But God, yeah, that is my obsession. That is my fetish. Is ass.
Nice.
I'm a hardcore ass man.
You gotta eat it.
Oh yeah. That's what everybody's doing these days. So I was doing that long before it was cool, though.
Oh jeez. All right, so moving on. I guess I'll go first. This is the TKO girl section where we all put a picture of something we love or enjoy. Cool. And I really enjoyed some chicken and steak fucking fajitas tonight, and they were beautiful.
Did you share a video of that shit sizzling earlier today?
Yeah, I did. It was good too.
Yeah. Looks alright.
I love fajitas, and it's good. And it's probably the healthiest thing I ate all fucking day.
Or ever.
Maybe ever. I was stuck in the house all day, man. I ate all kinds of shit. But, so I guess moving on, I'm going to guess this is probably Chris's.
Woo!
Yep.
Oh, my God.
I have psychoanalyzed all you fuckers.
Holy shit.
Well, I mean, basically our tastes don't change, so.
No, they don't. Like, it's not like they're going to change overnight.
Yeah, this last one's ridiculous, so I know whose it is, too.
Mm-hmm.
What we're looking at here is a long-haired brunette. Hair goes all the way down to her ass.
I'd put her in the vixen category.
Okay.
You think that's a scripture tattooed on the right of her leg?
Probably.
It says, fuck you, give me money.
No.
She's in a long-sleeve black one-piece thing that's riding up her ass. Like
bodysuit.
Yeah, bodysuit, and she's got on some over-the-knee either socks or maybe boots. I can't tell because there's not enough of the picture to show me. But she's looking back with heavily make-upped eyes and basically just giving you the okay to enter Tuna Town and the back entrance.
Yeah.
Do you think that her dad missed a lot of her recitals?
No.
Okay, you think he actually made him do them?
He was there. He may have been in the back, you know, trying to hit on somebody else's mom.
This is a classy broad.
No, it's not a classy broad.
She's posing for photos for the internet. She's not classy.
She's kind of like Kardashian level.
Yeah, she looks better though. She looks more natural.
Yeah, definitely. But that type of girl, that sect of twats.
Did you say sack of twats?
No, I said that sect of twats, but sack of twats works too.
Yeah.
All right,
Same difference.
Moving on. I guess this is probably DA's.
Yeah, this is mine. This is obviously a lower upward photo of a girl with a giant ass, a little bit of cellulite and all. She's got a little yellow bikini top covering her little fucking tits popping up over the top, which are some nice tits too. But I mean, this is a big, beautiful ass that I would just love to like put my face in. Like, you know that meme that fucking JC shared earlier this week in
Homer
WT. That's whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like talking about eating ass. Like that's what I would do. I'd be Homer right up in Marge's ass. I'd wear this thing like a mask for like a week straight. And I also want to point out that my wife selected this for me this week.
Nice.
Yeah, she prepared all my stuff that I would have to share this week for me.
Now, was this her suggestion, or did you give her multiple choice?
Well, I told her to select a few, and this is the one that I handpicked it out of like the 4 or 5 that she showed me.
Okay, so she did the grunt work for you.
Yeah. I told her I already had it covered, but she was like, let me choose, some. And I was like, okay. But this is the one I chose. She knows I'm a sucker for this shit.
Nice.
Nothing wrong with that.
She's cool with it. She
Nice,
got a big butt, too.
We don't have any listener questions this week. So I guess that
Thank
means...
God.
I mean, we're going to call it.
Because they're all terrible.
Let's wrap her up.
I'm going to chug the rest of this
They're
drink
really
and
good.
black out in my room.
Well, thanks again for coming on, Shane.
Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. This was a hell of an experience. For the first time doing a podcast. Sorry it took so long for me to get on board technologically. Jeez, I don't know what
That's all right.
it was with this thing, and I'm getting the hang of it though.
What are you using, a Zune?
Now I got some little plug-in mic that I ordered for a podcast that I was supposed to do like 4 years ago and never did it. And I just opened it up, and first time doing it. And yeah, man, I have never done this before. I am totally new to this, so thank y'all for bearing with me.
Oh, no problem, man.
And,
Your phone worked out great.
Towards the end, with going back to the Bumblebee thing, it was basically it was a once in a lifetime thing I couldn't pass up. It was two worlds coming together that I never would have thought would come together, and one opportunity between the PDR and Transformers. So it was like something I got to do,
Did you say PBR?
PDR is short for paintless tent repair.
Are you okay?
Dustin, we can hear you talking.
Dustin's having a medical emergency in his home. You better hit that life alert, bro.
Is that what that is?
All right. I guess that's it for this show.
I think we're about to hear some fucking. He already muted his mic. Look, he muted it. Oh, man. She made him all that food. She been waiting for him to get off.
My wife had she was getting up off the couch and had like a cramp, and I started rubbing it for her, and it just sounded like I was just giving it to her.
It sure did, man. I was going to ask you to keep going after we were done. I was almost finished.
We could have uploaded the audio of that to our Patreon.
Yeah, we should. I gotta get that started, man. That damn fucking.
Oh,
You gonna make it?
That 1/6 scale Kirk's not gonna fucking buy itself. That motherfucker's not even for sale anymore, man. That makes me sad.
You'll find one. You'll get one when you want it.
Yeah, I have to meet somebody that has one in that fandom and make friends with them and then go rob their ass.
Why didn't you just pull the trigger when you got the fucking insurance money, dude?
Because I don't want to waste my insurance money on toys.
I would. I'd fix what it needs to be fixed, and whatever's left over, I'd splurge on shit.
Dude, whatever's left over is gonna finish my fucking nerd room upstairs. I'm gonna have like 3 times real estate for the collection.
Okay.
That's why I haven't been spending any of the money on anything. It's like if I get that done, like my life is gonna improve a lot as far as the hobby goes.
Are y'all interested in any?
If you get hurricaned again, you'll get another insurance check.
Yep.
Cross your fingers.
What'd you say, dude?
Y'all into the B toys yet? I kind of like the little Volkswagen Studio Series. Y'all
Well,
into those?
I bought the little $5 Volkswagen Legend guy. He's not too bad. He's pretty cool.
Yep, interesting to see what they do with the triple changers.
Peter.
Yeah, I'm interested to see movie triple changers. I want to see how horrible they could make them. I'm interested in the characters though, and it's a different director and all that, so hopefully it'll be good.
So, like, with them making all the Decepticons triple changers, do you think there's a chance we might like see Drift show up as a Decepticon in this movie, since he was a triple changer?
Maybe we'll find out that he's moved on and started a charity for bots that can't pick sides.
All right, well, this has been a little slice of heaven.
Yes, it has.
I'm just assuming we were out like 3 minutes ago.
All
We're
right.
out. Good night.
Yep. Thank
Small
y'all
finger.
again. Have a good one.
And now we're out.
Since some people are too lazy to read, here are the shout-outs. Shout out to TF and WTF Ever, the greatest Transformers and what the fuck ever Facebook group ever. Elno Customs, an international consortium of Transformers customizers and creators. Third-party TF Crashers, Yula Blamo. Hail Hasbro Reviews with Matthew Deluxe Baldwin. Shattercast Uncut. Bobby Skullface Reviews. Legions for the Fountain of Material. The Realm of Collectors. Figure Banging. The entire Cool Table Network. The Blackout and Shout podcast. And of course, girls who make bad decisions with their bodies, and the fathers and or uncles that made them that way. And we wouldn't be a show without alcohol, marijuana, and coffee. The lifeblood of this program. If you liked what you heard and want more, like and subscribe. Comment and let us know what you thought. If you're on Facebook and want to join the party and become a fellow dreg, we're at TF and WTF Ever. All hate mail can be sent to tkothepodcast@gmail.com. We'll be back next week with some more nonsense.